What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. Cloud Village snatch Hinata Hyuga 1HH Chapter 1 Start plan to grab Hyuga Hinata. People in Cloud Shinobi Village, start to grab Hyuga Hinata. Author. Masaka Dudu traveling through the Naruto world, is not Konoha born, but a member of Cloud Shinobi? Without the darkness of Konoha's intrigue, Yèyuè Guāng, the cousin of Fourth Raikage at Cloud Shinobi, can do whatever he wants. What? The four of Sarutobi Hiruzen killed another genius. Well done, the more you kill, the better. Awakening the strongest Thor system, shines in the Third Ninja World War, invincible. Grab the newly born Hyuga Hinata to Cloud Shinobi Village. Yèyuè Guāng. I announce that her name will be Yèyuè Hinata from now on. Konoha is 48 years old. Although the Third Ninja World War has been over for 2 years, the small friction in the dark still continues. Especially the country of fire and the country of thunder. However, even if Tsunade suffers from panacemia and leaves Konoha, Jiraiya travels around the world. Konoha still retains Orochimaru, one of Sannin, and Namikaze Minato, the new Naruto. Konoha still exerts a powerful force, constantly resisting the attack of Cloud Shinobi Village. Coupled with the terrifying detection capabilities of the Hyuga Baikugan clan, Cloud Shinobi can hardly get any cheap. However, on October 13th, 3 days after the birth of the original protagonist Uzumaki Naruto, a piece of news surprised Fourth Raikage, Fourth Hokage, it's dead. Ha ha ha, Hikari, bye. Have you heard? The Golden Glitter is dead. In this way, Konoha's cage-level ninja is only left with the old Sarutobi Hiruzen and the disgusting guy Orochimaru. In the Raikage office of Cloud Shinobi Village, Fourth Raikage, who took over the position of Raikage for only 5 years, was very excited, and the stars flew out and shouted. Now is a good time to send troops to attack Konoha immediately. Opposite Fourth Raikage, the two standing. One is Killer B, who is known as Perfect Jinchuriki, humming the weird rap casually, and said angrily. It's my shit, Bagaila, I'm not here, I can't go to the battlefield. Since the Third Ninja World War, after the death of the Third Raikage, known as the strongest Raikage, Fourth Raikage strictly forbids his righteous brother to go to the battlefield and is only allowed to stay in the village. The one next to Killer B is younger, only 15 years old, with a silver-haired hedgehog head from the Yèyuè family. The young man with a handsome face and a wild body said. Advertisement, calm down, cousin, even though Fourth Hokage is dead, I'm still Orochimaru, and Uchiha is still the nemesis of the Tail Beast. It's better not to start a total war rashly. Yèyuè Guāng, this is his name. Cloud Shinobi's first big clan, member of the Yèyuè family. The current cousin of Raikage I. In the Third Ninja World War, he shined on the battlefield at the age of 12 years old. Now 15 years old, he has been called the strongest lightning-style ninja in the ninja world. Now the second person in Cloud Shinobi Village. When Fourth Raikage heard the words, he frowned, and felt that his cousin, who was 16 years old, made sense. Moreover, it is said that Uchiha recently released a kid called Shattering Shisui, who is quite talented. It is true that war should not be started rashly. Then, is there a better way for you alone? Fourth Raikage asked. Doesn't Baikugan's ability make you a headache? If that's the case, then we will try to provoke the relationship between Konoha and the Hyuga clan. Yèyuè Guāng smiled. Oh, come and listen. Fourth Raikage suddenly became interested. On the earthen platform in the office, Azabui and others couldn't help but K their ears. Yèyuè Guāng tried to take Hyuga Hinata from the Cloud Shinobi Village in the name of an alliance, but was killed by Hyuga Hiashi. Then he raked back and informed everyone on the scene of the plan to obtain Hyuga Hiashi's corpse. However, Yèyuè Guāng has slightly changed the plan, that is, the designated claim target will be changed from Hyuga Hiashi to Hyuga Hinata. Moreover, Yèyuè Guāng moved the event 3 years earlier than the original. It's worthy of light, it's really vicious enough, yeah. Killer B hummed in praise or ridicule. Master Everbright, is this plan unrealistic? As Raikage's secretary, Azabui frowned. We tried to kidnap Hyuga Hiashi's daughter and it was discovered. It would be nice if Third Hokage didn't ask us to settle the accounts, and let him take the initiative to hand them over. Isn't it possible? Tudai also said, Master Everbright, I also think, this is unlikely. Even everyone present is convinced of Yèyuè Guāng's strength. But everyone feels that this plan is really impossible. Think about it in another way, if there are other Shinobu villages, under the guise of the alliance, they try to kidnap Killer B, and then they're found to fight back. Advertisement as a result, the opponent beat him upside down and asked Cloud Shinobi Village to hand over Killer B. Fourth Raikage said that he must shit the opponent. Ha ha ha. You are too high to see Sarutobi Hiruzen's weakness. This Naruto is famous for, only the outside world is the only one, and the attack is hard on the inside. Yèyuè Guāng laughed aloud. You don't lose a try, leave it to me, and I promise to bring Hiashi's daughter back. After Fourth Raikage's rough fingers clicked on the desk several times, he nodded and said. As long as it makes sense, this matter is left to you. Even if there is an accident, I believe that no one will get you Konoha. After leaving Raikage's office, Yèyuè Guāng looked at the huge Cloud Shinobi Village. The environment of Thunder Country is a bit like the prairie of murderous slaves in previous lives, which is not conducive to the growth of crops. But precisely because of the harsh environment, the Cloud Shinobi ninjas trained have extremely tough fighting styles. Although the environment is a bit worse, it is a good place for Konoha, who has been intriguing all day long compared to political darkness. Yèyuè Guāng took a deep breath and said with emotion. Yes, Yèyuè Guāng is a traverser who has traveled to Cloud Shinobi Village for 15 years. However, it is different from many people who crossed to Konoha and became Uchiha or Senju family. What he traveled through was Konoha's death place, Cloud Shinobi Village. The strongest Thor system, open black lens bracket host, Yèyuè Guāng close black lens bracket, first template, Enel. Unlocking degree, 100%, second template, Masaka Makoto. Unlocking rate, 1.2%. Immediately, Yèyuè Guāng turned on his own cheat system and nodded. Well, with this strength, Konoha should really have no choice but to gain him. Once I capture Hyuga Hinata in Cloud Shinobi Village, the plot of the entire Naruto world will change drastically in an instant. Chapter 2 The Next Generation of Raikage, You Must Be Your Brother-in-Law. Brother-in-law, I heard that we are going to sign an alliance agreement with Konoha. Really? Built on the roof of a house on the south side of Cloud Shinobi Village, Azzy, who was only 5 years old, asked curiously. He does not have a high sense of existence in the original work, but if he says his sister's name, he will surely poke a lot of images of LSP. Samui. I'm afraid that she is the only woman in the original book who can match Tsunade with 50 to 50 results. It's true, but this is only on the surface. In fact, the real goal is the eldest daughter of the Hyuga clan. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and explained what he had just said in Raikage's office to the two siblings in front of him. Azzy stared in surprise, and also revealed Yi Tutai, and Mabui and others had the same unbelievable expressions, astonished. This brother-in-law, third Hokage can't make such a demanding request, right? It's really dark enough, shouldn't it be you? As a teammate of Yèyuè Guāng Genin during the period of Yèyuè Guāng Genin, Sam Yi, who is only 15 years old this year, has shown an astonishing temperament as a beauty of the moon and an iceberg in the future. During the Third Ninja War, Yèyuè Guāng, who was only 12 years old, relied on meticulous strategic means to establish Cloud Shinobi almost invincible. It is a pity that Yèyuè Guāng is on the battlefield of the Kingdom of Fire. As a result, he did not let his uncle Third Raikage, known as the strongest Raikage, escape the fate of death in the original book. Cloud Shinobi Village is a good village. Yèyuè Guāng looked at the Cloud Shinobi Village built on the steep gorge, and suddenly put his arms around Samui's fragrant shoulders and said with emotion. Unlike the dark skin of most people in Cloud Shinobi, Samui's face was as white as egg white with a light flush. After trying to break free, he can only let him hold it. After the end of the Third Ninja War, she basically acquiesced in the relationship between the two. It's rare for Azzy to call Yèyuè Guāng brother-in-law. Did she refute it? The living conditions of Cloud Shinobi are indeed far inferior to those of Konoha where the travelers gather. The Land of Fire occupies the most fertile land in the whole world of ninja, this is undisputed. And the environment of Thunder Country, to be honest, is a bit better than the bad place in Wind Country. But it is different from the political darkness led by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Advertisement. The political environment of Cloud Shinobi can be said to be more simple and clean. This is also an important reason why Cloud Shinobi Village can cultivate two perfect Jinchuriki, Killer Bee and Wooden Golem. There are not so many twists and turns in the fight for power. Whoever is strong will listen to whoever is strong. Of course, the premise is a normal person. It's not like Sarutobi Hiruzen's 4 old bones, who are so weak that they are still holding on to the highest authority. The kidnapping of Hyuga Hinata, if you stand from Konoha's perspective, Cloud Shinobi is really mean. The kidnapping failed, but a rake. But from the perspective of Cloud Shinobi, it is for the benefit of the village. There is nothing wrong. What's more, his cousin Fourth Raikage, although he is impulsive and irritable, he does not poke the needle. At least he will not persecute his people like Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo. This is also why Yèyuè Guāng never had the idea of defecting to Cloud Shinobi. On the other hand, are there still few mods that Konoha has made because of the political darkness? In the past, White Fang committed suicide due to rumors, and in the future, Uchiha Shisui committed suicide due to conflicts between the family and the villagers. It's all thanks to your brother-in-law for your hard work in the Third Ninja War. Now Yujiguo is a subject of our Thunder Country. The fifth Raikage is definitely not your brother-in-law. Azzy offered a rainbow fart in time. Oh, I don't have much interest in being Raikage who sits in the office all day. Yèyuè Guāng let out a faint chuckle. He is interested in the name, the strongest, but he has no interest in Raikage's position. While saying this, Yèyuè Guāng secretly gave Azzy a glance. Azzy, who was already familiar with the road, instantly understood his heart, and exclaimed. Ah, oops, I haven't finished my homework at ninja school, brother-in-law, old sister, I'm leaving now. After speaking, he jumped off the roof and drove off quickly. Advertisement. It disappeared completely in the field of vision within a few seconds. Yèyuè Guāng instantly showed the expression of, this kid is clever, and then Sam Yi put his arms in his arms and smiled lightly. After that, Konoha, you can go with me. Don't think about those things during the mission period, you'll be thinking about those things all day long. Sam Yi scratched the other side angrily. Yèyuè Guāng smiled even more, drew up Sam Yi's white jaw and printed it on it. So sweet. About 2 minutes later, Yèyuè Guāng picked up Princess Samui's lazy waist, jumped off the roof, and stepped into the house. The country of fire, Konoha village. Fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato died of 9 tails. Before the decision of 5th Hokage, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had abdicated by Tsunomoto, returned to the pinnacle of power and mastered Konoha's highest power. Konoha, the administration building, in the highest meeting room. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked 3 old teammates who had shared the highest authority of Konoha with him for nearly half a century. I didn't expect Cloud Shinobi to send us an invitation to the alliance at this time, but I really can't think of a reason for rejection. What do you think? Nowadays, Konoha has only one cage level, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Plus Shimura Danzo, Udadane Kaharu, Mitokado Homura. These 4 people were able to turn the great foundation left by Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobarama into the current virtue. Really talented. P.S. The author has previously written several Hokage articles about the protagonist's origin in Konoha and his bitter hatred. This time I changed the style. Looking at the original work, I might feel that Cloud Shinobi Village's style is very savage and unreasonable. But if you stand from the perspective of their village, you will find that there is nothing wrong, it's just profit. And it won't fight like Konoha ruled by Sarutobi Hiruzen, which the author thinks is not bad. Chapter 3 Cloud Shinobi Village in the strongest period and Konoha in the weakest period. Sarutobi Hiruzen's theoretical strength is far inferior to his teacher, Senju Tobarama, the #1 speed in the ninja world. Not to mention the comparison with Senju Hashirama, known as the ninja god. But he was the longest Hokage in his reign. During his tenure, the number of geniuses born by Konoha accounted for almost 80% of the total ninja world. Hitaki Shumo, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru, Namikaze Minato, Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Itachi. However, these geniuses left the village, defected, and were forced to death. Such a good hand, being beaten like this in F4 by their elders group, is really a big deal. Received the alliance invitation letter from Cloud Shinobi from Sarutobi Hiruzen. The other 3 watched them one by one. Even Shimura Danzo, who is a fanatical warrior faction, did not object to it. Because according to the current situation, anyone who is not blind can see that Cloud Shinobi's strength is above Konoha. Although known as the strongest, 3rd Raikage is dead. But his son 4th Raikage also has the strength of cage level. Not to mention Yèyuè Guāng, known as the strong ninja lightning style ninja, in the 3rd Ninja War battlefield. Secondly, there are 2 perfect Jinchuriki, Killer Bee and Wooden Golem. On the other hand, Konoha, in a few days, Orochimaru also ran away. The whole village is Sarutobi Hiruzen's 60th birthday, and the cage level, whose lowest is buried in his neck, hangs to death. Right now, it is definitely the strongest period in the history of Cloud Shinobi and the weakest period in the history of Konoha. Fortunately, the heritage left by the Senju brothers will not be defeated by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Although Senju exists in name only. However, the Ino Shikacho, Inuzuka, Aburame and other ninjas are not vegetarians. In addition to the tailbeast Nemesis, the Uchiha clan with Sharingan is not yet extinct. And Hyuga's Byakugan was also in the 3rd ninja battle, which caused a lot of trouble to Cloud Shinobi. Therefore, the gap between the 2 villages is not too exaggerated. In that case, the old man agreed to this invitation to form an alliance and announced to the village that early next year, the signing ceremony of the alliance between Konoha and Cloud Shinobi will be officially held. Konoha's 49th year, January 1st. Yèyuè Guāng and Sarutobi Hiruzen stand on the top floor of the Hokage building. In the presence of hundreds of thousands of Konoha village residents below, they shook hands to indicate that the alliance between the 2 villages was officially reached. In the new year, coupled with the double joy of the alliance, the cheers of the whole village boiled to a new peak. What's the matter? Lu Ju, the era of peace is coming, are you unhappy? Suddenly, among the many high-level ninjas standing behind the 2, Yamanaka Heiichi found out that his friend Naruto had a long face and couldn't help but whispered. Naruto shook his head and responded in a low voice. No, I think this good luck is coming too soon. The 4th generation lord has just passed away, and Cloud Shinobi actually asked the alliance to take the opportunity to send troops based on their personalities? The Nara family has played the role of Konoha sergeant for generations. Naruto is one of the best. In his opinion, this peace came too suddenly. The Cloud Shinobi folks are militant. When they have the upper hand, why should they take the initiative to invite the alliance? Taking the opportunity to dispatch troops is their style of action. And in the alliance agreement, there are almost no terms that are unfavorable to Konoha. This is not in line with the style of Cloud Shinobi. Advertisement, but I saw the happy expression of his own Hokage-sama. Nara dear struggled for a long time, but finally did not speak. On the day of the signing of the alliance agreement, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen announced a national celebration. As the Cloud Shinobi mission, Yèyuè Guāng, Samui, Darui and others naturally also participated. In Konoha, only one clan did not participate, the Hyuga family. Because the eldest daughter of Patriarch Hyuga Hiashi was just 3 days old, he had to stay with his wife at home. After some celebrations, everyone returned to the high-end hotel arranged for them by Sarutobi Hiruzen. But no one slept peacefully, and everyone knelt down on the tatami with solemn expressions. Liuyan, please, Yèyuè Guāng said with a calm expression. Yes. A terminally ill, Cloud Shinobi Jonin, who has not been able to live for a few days, bowed his head and promised, jumped out of the window, and galloped under the moonlight of Konoha. About half an hour later, a dark shadow slipped out of the patriarch's residence of the Hyuga clan. In his right hand, he was still lazily holding a sleeping baby. It is Hyūga Hinata, who was just born on the third, click. Suddenly, Sombra guessed a dead leaf scattered on the ground and made a crisp sound. Who? Hyuga Hiashi, who rushed to hear the movement, saw the man in black and his kidnapped daughter, and his face suddenly changed. Without thinking too much, he rushed forward with a fist. Pouch! Gentle fist hit the opponent's abdomen, and instantly shattered the opponent's internal organs to pieces. So easy? Hyuga Hiashi himself was taken aback. Those who can infiltrate the Hyuga clan should not be low in strength. No matter what, you won't be killed by a single move by yourself. But before he could think about it, when the man in black fell, Hyuga Hiashi quickly reached out and took his unconscious daughter in his arms. When Hyuga Hiashi held his daughter in his right hand and pulled off the mask on the other's face with his left hand. The Cloud Shinobi forehead protector greeted Hyuga Hiashi's shock. Patriarch, what happened? The sound of the battle instantly attracted the guards of the Hyuga clan. In less than 10 seconds, several guards hurried over. And when I saw a ninja wearing Cloud Shinobi forehead protector with a mouthful of blood falling at the feet of their patriarch. All of them were dumbfounded. Immediately, report this to Master Naruto. Advertisement. Hyuga Hiashi almost gritted his teeth and said these words from between his teeth. He also realized that he had stabbed a big basket. It takes less than 10 minutes. Konoha elders F4, Hyuga Hiashi, Uchiha Fugaku, Ino Shikacho tribe chiefs and many other senior Konoha members gathered in the Hokage office. But after the death of Namikaze Minato, Konoha's highest combat power, Orochimaru, was not here. The deadly silence atmosphere contrasted with the joyful atmosphere of celebrating the village during the day. After checking Yèyuè Liuyan's body in the middle of the office, Naruto frowned and said, Hokage-sama, obviously Cloud Shinobi's request for an alliance to us is just to cover. Their true purpose is the blood of the Hyuga clan. Uchiha Fugaku also said, in the Third Ninja War, Byakugan of the Hyuga clan caused a lot of trouble to Cloud Shinobi. It is not surprising that they would do this. Hyuga Hiashi was about to explode Byakugan out of anger and said, Hokage-sama, please be the master of my Hyuga clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath of the pipe, and the smoke that came out made everyone present frown, but he didn't dare to say anything. Shinosuke, immediately notify the Cloud Shinobi envoy, and ask them to give us Konoha an explanation. After a short silence, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave orders to his eldest son. Originally, he was still immersed in the joy of truce with Cloud Shinobi Village. However, the reality immediately gave himself a big ear. In less than 5 minutes, 14 members of the Cloud Shinobi delegation headed by Yèyuè Guāng rushed to the Hokage office. Just as Hyuga Hiashi was ready to question the other person, filled with righteous indignation. Unexpectedly, a kind of Cloud Shinobi ninja behind Yèyuè Guāng saw the body of Yèyuè Liuyan on the ground. Except for Samui and Darui, the others burst into tears with their noses in tears. They knelt down beside Yèyuè Liuyan, crying bitterly and said, Wow, Liuyan. What happened? Why did you die? Who is it? Who killed you? Liuyan. You have worked hard for our village, how did you end up like this? A-hole. Who did it? We must make him pay for it. Yes, go back and report this to Master Raikage immediately. The people on Konoha's side were stunned by the performance of these Cloud Shinobi ninjas. Rumble. The sky-shattering thunder resounded above Konoha. Everyone turned their eyes and saw Yèyuè Guāng's body surface thunder exploded, and the violent air pressure wrapped his body, making him stand upright with silver hair. There are still electric arcs passing around, like ghosts and gods. Hokage-sama, I, Cloud Shinobi, sincerely alliance with your village, but now my subordinates are brutally murdered in Konoha. What is going on? I need Konoha to explain. Yèyuè Guāng fixed his gaze on Sarutobi Hiruzen, his deep tone with a strong killing intent. Suddenly, all Konoha's senior members were dumbfounded. 5 seconds later, everyone invariably cursed in their hearts. This B*********** D actually sue the villain first. Chapter 4 only promises to the outside, strikes hard at the inside. What a joke. After reacting, Hyuga Hiashi was the first to scold with anger. It is clear that you, Cloud Shinobi, under the guise of the alliance, sneaked into my Hyuga clan and wanted to kidnap my daughter. After I found out, you actually framed me, Konoha? Feeling the thunderbolt erupting from Yèyuè Guāng, Hyuga Hiashi can be sure that the opponent's strength must be higher than himself. However, his anger has now overshadowed his fear. No matter how strong Yèyuè Guāng is, his Hyuga Hiashi also has his own dignity. People have been bullied to such an extent, how can they still be silent? Yes, Master Yèyuè Guāng, your Cloud Shinobi behavior is too much. Naruto, who has a calm personality, couldn't help but say. His son was just 3 months old, and he can understand Hyuga Hiashi's feelings. What are you talking about? Our people were killed, do you still want to put the charges on us? A Cloud Shinobi Jonin shouted angrily, don't Konoha want to go to war again? Hyuga Hiashi was furious, and was about to say, who is afraid of whom? Unexpectedly, Udotane Kaharu's wrinkled old face shouted in horror. Please don't get me wrong, Konoha has no intention of this. As soon as this was said, Hyuga Hiashi, Uchiha Fugaku and others looked at Utatane Kaharu with devilish eyes. This weak force is just that the old woman who sits on the advisory board because she is a disciple of second Hokage, usually talks to them, the patriarch of the ninja clan. It's like 2 to 5 or 80,000, and now he talks to the people of Cloud Shinobi in such a humble tone. It is not waiting for the many patriarchs to do anything. Mitokado Homura also hurriedly interface. Yes, that's right, Konoha and Cloud Shinobi have just formed an alliance today. It's a good day. Don't be so impulsive. Seeing the humility of two high-pitched consultants on weekdays. Don't talk about Uchiha Fugaku and Hyuga Hiashi, even if it is a good-tempered Yamanaka Yuaichi, Akamichi Dingza and they're all looking irritated. Do you old guys want to be so daunted? Where is the common religion accusing us of hard spirits? Why don't Konoha and Cloud Shinobi take a step back? As soon as nothing happens, everyone is still allies, how about? What made several ninja clan chiefs never expected was that even Shimura Danzo, who was the main warrior of the Third Ninja World War, would say such words. Had it not been for the existence of Konoha who is now more than 10,000 people, Hyuga Hiashi would have liked to rush over to slap the old man. Advertisement: my daughter was almost kidnapped, you let Lousy take care of everything. Oh, Konoha's abacus is good, we are dead, but you want nothing to happen? Yèyuè Guāng did not restrain the thunderlight from his body at all, and released the unstoppable deterrent power of the people present all over his body. He sneered. Could it be that Cloud Shinobi is a bully for me? Except for the Konoha elders group of 4, the other Konoha Shinobi present were going to explode. We bully you? Obviously you are bullying us, right? The vain attempt to kidnap Hyūga Hinata failed instead of confessing any guilt and apologizing. Are you so shameless? Then, what does Mr. Yèyuè Guāng want? Sarutobi Hiruzen said abruptly, Master Naruto. All of a sudden, Hyuga Hiashi, Uchiha Fugaku, Nara Shikahisa and others looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with incredible eyes. Forget the other 3 old immortals, but you are Hokage. Now the enemy villages are bullied to your house, and they are all squatting on your forehead and shit. Are you actually persuaded? Ask the other party to make terms? Don't talk about Konoha. Even the Cloud Shinobi side has other people except Yèyuè Guāng, the Traverser, including the iceberg beauty Samui. They all showed ghostly expressions one after another. Persuaded. This third Hokage, who is called the strongest Naruto in history, and ninja hero, is he really persuaded? Pushed you Konoha to the ground and humiliated you, but you actually swallowed that breath? Damn it, if you change to Fourth Raikage, if you don't blow the hair on the spot, it's strange to twist the opponent's head off. At this time, when Samui and the others recalled Yèyuè Guāng's evaluation of Sarutobi Hiruzen and the Konoha elders. Only promises to the outside world, and strikes hard at home. Sure enough. Hand over the daughter of Patriarch Hiashi. Yèyuè Guāng showed the master's smile, and said in a tone without any room for negotiation. Advertisement: we give you Konoha a night to think about it. When we leave tomorrow morning, let the daughter of the Hyuga clan return to Cloud Shinobi Village with me. If your village disagrees, not only will the alliance agreement be annulled, we have to report back to Lord Raikage and officially launch an all-out war between Cloud Shinobi and Konoha. While speaking, Yèyuè Guāng motioned to Darui. Darui nodded, and carried Yi Liuyan's body on his shoulders. Immediately, Yèyuè Guāng turned around and led the Cloud Shinobi crowd to leave in strides, turning his back to the Sarutobi Hiruzen crowd and saying, Master Naruto, please consider it carefully. Bang. The moment the door closes, Hyuga Hiashi said to Sarutobi Hiruzen for the first time. Hokage-sama, my Hyuga clan is willing to take the lead, we will face Cloud Shinobi head-on. Sending my newly born daughter to Cloud Shinobi is not only the loss of a pair of Byakugan, but also my own blood. It even trampled on the ground with the dignity of the Hyuga clan as a famous family, as well as his own majesty as the patriarch. However, in the face of the fighting spirit, his face flushed with pride and he took the initiative to call in Hyuga Hiashi. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't give any response for the first time. He just took a few puffs of cigarettes continuously, and kept vomiting clouds and fog. Hiruzen, it is too risky to start an all-out war with Cloud Shinobi at this time. Danzo spoke quietly. Danzo, you, Hyuga Hiashi could no longer contain the anger in his heart, pointing at Danzo and preparing to swear. However, Hyuga Hiashi just said 2 words, Utatane Kaharu and Mitokado Homura hurriedly said. Yes, Hiruzen, we have to proceed for Konoha's overall interests. Mr. Tobirama handed Konoha into our hands, we must protect it. They have lived together for more than half a century and fully understand Sarutobi Hiruzen's ideas. Now, it's just a step down to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sure enough, when Sarutobi Hiruzen removed the pipe from his mouth, he still looked at Hyuga Hiashi kindly, but his tone seemed to be irrefutable. Hiashi, everything is for Konoha. The village will remember Hyuga's sacrifice. As soon as this word came out, Hyuga Hiashi staggered 2 steps and almost fell. And Uchiha Fugaku, Nara Shikahisa, Akamichi Dinza and others beside them did not say a word. They understand that there is no room for negotiation. Konoha's power is completely monopolized by these 4 elders over 60s. Chapter 5. From now on she will be Yèyuè Hinata. Early the next morning, when Yèyuè Guāng led Cloud Shinobi to the main gate of Konoha. I saw the Konaha elders group of 4, Hyuga Hiashi, Uchiha Fugaku, etc., whom I saw in the Hokage office last night, and they have been waiting here for a long time. In Hyuga Hiashi's arms, she was holding a baby girl wrapped in her compatriot's clothes, who was still asleep. Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but smile, and it was exactly what he expected. Although he advanced the action by 3 years, Orochimaru has not defected to Konoha. But even so, the old foxes like Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to go to war without Namikaze Minato. What's more, Shisui's current name is not as resounding as the original. Thank you, Patriarch Hiashi, I will take good care of Ling Qinjin. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and stretched out his right hand, motioning Hyuga Hiashi to give the person to himself. I'm Hyuga Hisashi, my brother passed out when he went home last night, and he is still in the hospital bed. Hyuga Hisashi said indifferently. Yèyuè Guāng was taken aback, and then noticed that the other party had a bandage on his forehead, which was to cover the seal of caged bird. Haha, I'm sorry, Patriarch Hisashi. Yèyuè Guāng gave a haha, too lazy to talk nonsense, and directly stretched out his hand to hug Hyuga Hinata into his arms. However, he whispered a word in the ear of the other party. You should thank me for saving your life. Hearing this, Hyuga Hisashi frowned. What does this guy mean? You abducted my niece, and you said to save me. Of course, Hyuga Hisashi didn't know, the original Cloud Shinobi wanted Hyuga Hiashi, and he became a substitute for death. And now because of the storm set off by the butterfly Yèyuè Guāng, he escaped. Mr. Yèyuè Guāng, now Cloud Shinobi and Konoha are still allies, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped up and asked. Hey, suddenly someone sneered. No one else, but Konoha's highest combat power, Orochimaru. To be honest, when Sarutobi Hiruzen decided to make Namikaze Minato 4th Hokage, the relationship between the teacher and the apprentice is now a stranger. And today, after coming out of the laboratory for a long time, I saw my teacher bend to Cloud Shinobi so humbly. Orochimaru couldn't help feeling extremely funny. You are getting old, Teacher Sarutobi, Orochimaru said inwardly, his eyes full of contempt. Advertisement, of course, Cloud Shinobi and Konoha will be the closest allies in the future. Yèyuè Guāng holds Hinata with one hand, kindly Kaido. That's good, Sarutobi Hiruzen's warm smile made Uchiha Fugaku, Nara Shikuhisa and others feel nauseous. Their sons and daughters in Hyuga Hinata were born in childhood. Think about it in another way. If Cloud Shinobi's goal last night was their family, those who were handed over are likely to be their children. Although Namikaze Minato is dead, they're still there. Why not dare to go to war, however, no matter how angry I feel? They dare not say this. From now on, she will be Yèyuè Hinata. Before leaving, the words left by Yèyuè Guāng made the uncle Hyuga Hisashi's heart tremble. While holding back his anger, Hyuga Hisashi secretly sighed that it was fortunate that his brother was not here. Otherwise, you will definitely be angry enough to fight. It's so boring, I'll leave if it's okay. Orochimaru didn't want to stay here anymore, let alone give face to his teacher. Faintly shook the next sentence and left. Just now Konoha didn't notice that everyone in Konoha, when Yèyuè Guāng left, quietly threw a note to Orochimaru. On the way back to his research room, Orochimaru opened the note with only 6 words written on it. After defecting, contact more, this little girl is very cute, no wonder. FK. This girl is urinating, Samui, come and change the diaper. A week later, Thunder Country Cloud Shinobi Village. Yèyuè Guāng, the number 2 character of Cloud Shinobi, now hears a roar of flying dogs, which is accompanied by bursts of crying from babies. Samui took the diaper he had just bought from the store and said with a black face. Why did you bring her home? Doesn't the village have an orphanage dedicated to war orphans? The old lady was deceived by UB***********D, so you made me a baby. What's even more annoying is that it's not yours yet. This is Princess Byakugan who will only be born for hundreds of years, baby. Yèyuè Guāng held his nose. Kaido. Advertisement. But Princess Byakugan has more than pure Byakugan, Hinata. Hyūga Hanabi also has it. At this moment, Aziz's weak voice came from outside the door. Then, that brother-in-law, Mr. Raikage has sent someone to urge you several times just now, asking you to report to the office as soon as possible. All in all, you quickly change her diaper. Yèyuè Guāng put Hinata into Sammy's D-class tank and walked out quickly, grabbing Atsu's ear and walking towards the Raikage building. Smelly boy, come to my house and have to knock on the door. I didn't go in again. Brother-in-law, it hurts. It hurts. Azai wanted to cry without tears. Wow, Hinata, who was still dripping, felt the familiar kneading, and subconsciously began to look for food. Sammy was almost thrown off Hinata, blushing and shouted. You, don't. I'll make you milk right away, don't. Oh. 10 minutes later, Raikage's office. Hikari, what's going on? Why do you catch a baby girl who was just born? You can let them hand over Hyuga Hiashi, or ask Konoha to bring out a pair of ready-made Byakugan. Originally heard that Yèyuè Guāng and the others had completed the task, Fourth Raikage was quite happy. But I heard that Yèyuè Guāng brought back a little girl who was just born less than a month old. Fourth Raikage suddenly couldn't understand the operation of his cousin. Do you still have a hobby of being a dad? Hey, cousin, you said that when Hinata grows up, do you recognize me or Hyuga Hiashi? Yèyuè Guāng sat down on the sofa next to the office and asked Fourth Raikage with his legs up. Hinata is the child brought back by the Everbright. Azabui whispered beside him. If you raise her, she should still listen to you. Fourth Raikage frowned for a while and replied. Then if I let her become Hokage when she grows up, what do you think will happen? Yèyuè Guāng chuckled and asked again. In an instant, inside the office. Fourth Raikage, Mabuyi, Tutai and others all changed their expressions suddenly. Chapter 6 Konoha will only get weaker. It's worthy of being an Everbright. Assisting the two Raikages of 3rd generation and 4th generation, Tutai, who was almost 3 times the age of Yèyuè Guāng, couldn't help but marvel. I have thought of this step, and my subordinates feel ashamed. It's true that you deserve to be said to be able to think so far, but, wouldn't it be too detour? Fourth Raikage squeezed the beard of his chin and said. It will take at least 10 years for that girl to grow up. And it's still unclear whether she has the potential to grow to Kage level. With that said, Fourth Raikage started to suffer from his impulsivity again, and eagerly said. Isn't it good to send troops directly to attack? Master Raikage, although Konoha has only 2 Kage levels, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and Orochimaru, but Hyuga, Ino Shikacho, Aburame and other ninjas are extremely powerful. Tutai discouraged. In addition, Uchiha's Sharingan is the nemesis of the Tail Beast and Jinchuriki. Even if the strength of our Cloud Shinobi Village is above Konoha, it is not much stronger. Tisk. Fourth Raikage gritted his teeth displeased, but had to admit that Tutai was right. First Hokage Senju Hashirama's foundation for Konoha is too strong. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen eats as much as he can in these years, he can't finish it. Don't worry, cousin, Konoha will only get weaker and weaker in the future. Oh, could it be weaker? Suddenly, Fourth Raikage and others in the office looked at Yèyuè Guāng with incredible eyes. Compare Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobarama's reign. And in the early days of the Second Ninja War, Konoha's Whitefang and Konoha Sannin were alive in the early days of Sarutobi Hiruzen's reign. Konoha at the moment is very poor and weak. Could it be weaker? Yèyuè Guāng smiled without answering. To be honest, if he weren't a traverser, he couldn't predict it. Soon, Sarutobi Hiruzen will return to the position of Hokage. This caused Orochimaru's relationship with him to break, and he defected. Advertisement. And a few years later, Konoha's strongest Uchiha was destroyed. The huge Konoha leaves only Sarutobi Hiruzen, an old man who stepped into the coffin and half his feet. If Konoha is currently among the 5 major shinobi villages, his strength still barely ranks second after Cloud Shinobi. Then it's time for the original plot to start. Then it became the penultimate only slightly better than Sunagaker. A few days later, Konohagakure, Hyuga clan land. On the hospital bed, Hyuga Hiashi, who had passed out of a coma, gradually woke up. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw Hyuga Hisashi kneeling and sitting beside him. I just got home last night and saw my newborn daughter, and thought of sending her to the enemy village thousands of miles away. There was also Sarutobi Hiruzen's so-called, for Konoha, remarks. He was so anxious that he passed out on the spot. Hisashi. Hyuga Hiashi whispered. The man, has gone. Hyuga Hisashi lowered his head in response. He really didn't know what expression he should use to face his brother. Suddenly, Hyuga Hisashi remembered another thing and said with grief. Big brother, sister-in-law, she hasn't woken up yet. Hyuga Hiashi's wife was also the one who was overwhelmed and fainted. For a woman who has just given birth, her newly born daughter is taken away. It was such a heavy blow that most people simply couldn't imagine. Hyuga Hiashi's expression changed drastically, and immediately wanted to get up from the hospital bed. Upon seeing this, Hyuga Hisashi hurriedly pressed the other person's shoulder and dissuaded him. Brother, calm down. The medical ninja has come to see him, no life is in danger. After hearing this, Hyuga Hiashi finally lay down again. At this moment, the object he hates most in his heart is not Cloud Shinobi, who snatched his daughter away. Advertisement. It's the Hokage-sama who shows kindness all day long. Why can't we go to war? My Hyuga clan is willing to take the lead. Why are you so weak? After gritting his teeth, Hyuga Hiashi looked at his clan brother with an angry look. Hisashi, give my order. The Hyuga clan fully supports Orochimaru-sama to take over as 5th Hokage. If Yèyuè Guāng knew about Hyuga Hiashi's decision, he would definitely not help laughing. His goal was achieved, and the relationship between the Hyuga family and the Naruto faction broke. Hyuga Hiashi doesn't actually like Orochimaru. However, now, the elders group of 4 headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen has occupied the top of the list of his most disgusting objects. However, upon hearing Hyuga Hiashi's words, Hyuga Hisashi said bitterly. Brother, in the past few days when you were in a coma, the decision above has already come down. Hyuga Hisashi's expression became even more sad. No, I won't run for 5th Hokage. Your Lord 3rd generation will regain control of Konoha's supreme government. For a while, Hyuga Hiashi's eyes stared like bells. After a few seconds, puff, a mouthful of blood spurted from Hyuga Hiashi's mouth. Big brother, take care of yourself. Hyuga Hisashi was shocked at once. Hyuga Hiashi raised his hand to signal that he was okay, resisting the colic from his internal organs, and whispered. Our Hyuga clan, the future. I'm afraid it will be difficult. Let the order go on. All the people of the clan, act in a low-key manner. If the daughter doesn't come back, Hyuga Hiashi can only swallow this breath into his stomach for a while. But the seeds of hatred against Konoha's high levels have quietly sown and sprouted. Chapter 7 Education starts from the doll. Konoha in early February 49. The news of 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato's death in Nine Tails has spread throughout the ninja world. Not only that, just when everyone thought it was finally time for Orochimaru to be promoted to 5th Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was supposed to retire, had another operation that everyone hadn't expected. He will return to the position of Naruto. Wait, isn't there still Orochimaru? Regarding this matter, Sarutobi Hiruzen claimed that Orochimaru's character was not suitable for Hokage, so he returned to power. But as an old man with his neck buried in lowest suitable. What's more, isn't Jiraiya still dead? Tell him to come back. In the secret research institute under the Orochimaru mansion. Danzo leaned on a cane, looked at Orochimaru's back, and said in an unprecedented cold tone. The guy Sarutobi took advantage of Namikaze Minato's death to regain power. I couldn't beat him. And Orochimaru's gaze was just locked in the experimental nutrition chamber in front of him. Several oxygen chambers filled with liquid medicine in the research room. There is a baby whose name is full of needles floating. Hey, how could a person who loves power like Sarutobi teacher let go of such a great opportunity? When Minato was in office, he didn't let go of power, right? Orochimaru still kept standing with his back to Danzo, sneered again and again. When running for 4th Hokage, why did Sarutobi Hiruzen choose Namikaze Minato instead of Orochimaru? Because Namikaze Minato is stronger. This is not necessarily true. The more important reason is that Namikaze Minato has better control than Orochimaru. When Namikaze Minato was in office, he shared an office with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Two shadows and the same rule. The beautiful name is for the young Namikaze Minato to be better familiar with Hokage's job process. I am afraid that only Namikaze Minato, a young man of civilian origin and a Virgin Mary, can tolerate this kind of thing. Change to Tsunade or Orochimaru as Hokage. If you dare to do this, you have to screw your head off. Looking at the babies floating in the formalin-filled nutrition cabin, Danzo couldn't help frowning and saying. Recently, you have done a little too much. The babies in the village have disappeared one by one, and they have begun to attract Hiruzen's attention. You are nothing more than afraid of affecting you. Don't worry, I am prepared for the future, and it will not affect you. Orochimaru said indifferently. Advertisement. And don't you want to transplant first Hokage's cells? In that case, don't bother me all the time. See Orochimaru playing the first Hokage cell card. Danzo is not good to say more. After leaving only one sentence, it's best to do this, he turned and left and walked away. Orochimaru can't be trusted. As expected, I should sit in Hokage's position. Walking out of the laboratory and bathing in the high sun, Danzo couldn't help but mutter to himself. However, as Uchiha Obito said in the original book, the roots should be buried in the ground. A mouse accustomed to the darkness should not run into the sun. That would only be trampled to death. Master Danzo, Master Naruto invites you to go to the highest meeting room immediately. The meeting on Konoha's reconstruction work is about to begin. An Anbu suddenly came to Danzo to report. What a brilliant body flicker technique. Seeing this, Danzo couldn't help but admire in his heart, and at the same time deep jealousy appeared in his eyes. He knows the identity of this Anbu Shun Shisui. Uchiha was born, Konoha's new generation of genius. It is a pity that Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken over by Sarutobi Hiruzen early. Konoha reconstruction, as early as the previous meeting of the elders. Sarutobi Hiruzen proposed to move the Uchiha tribe, originally located in the bustling area, to the southern border, closer to the area of the Anbu base. It is convenient for Anbu to monitor Uchiha. And letting myself, the root leader, participate in the meeting is nothing more than trying to speak out on my own terms. Simply put, it is. Back the pot, Hiruzen, wait and see. Naruto will belong to the old man sooner or later. Although he is very upset about Sarutobi Hiruzen's repeated actions. But at the moment Danzo dare not confront Sarutobi Hiruzen. After all, he has most of Konoha's power at his master, and the number of elite ninjas under him is far above him. Uchiha Shisui in front of me is the best case. And compared to Konoha's intrigue, day and night, all day and night. Cloud Shinobi Village is much more open. Don't engage in those fancy, messy political struggles. Advertisement. Whoever is strong has the final say. In the original book, Urzu fights Killer Bee. Cloud Shinobi is in a training gorge dedicated to high-level ninjas. The two lightning thunders constantly shuttled here, colliding, bounced, and collided again. Every time there was a collision, there was a boom of thunder. And these two people are the highest combat power of the current Cloud Shinobi Village. Fourth Raikage Yèyuè Guāng. On both sides, there were Cloud Shinobi ninjas and villagers who came to watch the battle. This is also the folk customs of Cloud Shinobi. The strong fight, the winner is king. Yèyuè Guāng's right hand slid in the air, and the shining arc magnified sharply in the void, turning into a roaring thunder dragon. 60 million volts Thunder Dragon. Appeared. It's brother-in-law's trick. Aziz shouted excitedly. Smelly boy. I've seen that trick many times, it's useless. Fourth Raikage shouted in excitement. Lightning-style chakra mode broke out. Stretching his right hand straight, it seemed as if a bullet was shot straight out. The hand knife slashed straight into Thunder Dragon's mouth full of fangs. Lateral bolt of pain. Chop. Fourth Raikage yelled as he slashed the Thunder Dragon with a knife, and kept approaching Yèyuè Guāng. Sure enough, Lord Raikage is even better. Darui also didn't bother to curb his lazy temperament, guessing the outcome of the battle. And Sam relied on Hinata in his arms, with big watery eyes, looking straight at Yèyuè Guāng in the middle of the gorge. Education starts from the doll. It's really unexpected, how about trying this, cousin? Suddenly, under everyone's puzzled eyes, Yèyuè Guāng took out a coin from the pants kabuto, and immediately bounced it high with the thumb of his right hand. Chapter 8 The Folk Customs of Cloud Shinobi. See, the coin that was lifted vertically by the thumb began to fall. The arc coiled around Yèyuè Guāng made a harsh hissing sound, and the momentum felt completely inferior to the bold moves of Thunder Dragon. But it made Fourth Raikage on the opposite side a stronger ominous premonition than just now. When the coin fell in front of the raised thumb again, Yèyuè Guāng's horns were slightly curved and said, Railgun, Super Electromagnetic Gun. Shoo boom. The moment the thumb popped out, the falling coins flew straight out. The high temperature generated by the friction between thunder light and the air. Let the onlookers even see the red flames. Even though it is Fourth Raikage, who is known for its speed. Also suddenly caught off guard. Just trying to avoid, the flying coins have already fallen into his shoulders. Killer Bee hummed. Big Brother's body is protected by lightning-style armor, so it's not that easy to break, yeah. No, it's not that simple. However, Eight Tails in Killer Bee gave a completely opposite judgment. Puff. It sounded like a tire burst. In the next moment, everyone looked up again. I saw the coin burst like a balloon, piercing the lightning-style armor covering the surface of Fourth Raikage's body, and piercing directly into his shoulder. Immediately afterwards, blood splashed out. Actually. Killer Bee's eyes glared roundly under the sunglasses. The other Cloud Shinobi ninjas around also had incredible looks. Master Raikage's lightning-style chakra armor was actually cracked by Master Everbright. Doesn't this prove that Master Everbright has surpassed Master Raikage? It's possible that in addition to Lord Third Raikage's Hell Stab, I didn't expect that there were moves that could break Lord Fourth Raikage's defense. Fourth Raikage in the middle of the canyon frowned tightly, digging into his shoulder with his right hand, and forcibly pulled out the coin. But because of the high temperature of the friction between the lightning and the air. Advertisement. The coin at this time has become iron slag with only half a fingernail. You can actually break through my defenses. You have grown up again, Ko. Fourth Raikage said with emotion. No, it failed. In fact, even half of the expected power has not been achieved. If you change to Third Raikage, I am afraid that he will not be able to break his defense at all. Yèyuè Guāng shook his head. Hey, are you bragging or taunting lousy? Fourth Raikage scolded with dissatisfaction. He clearly cracked his own defense and said that the power was less than half of what he expected. Narcissism also has a limit, okay. Yèyuè Guāng laughed without answering, and no one believed the truth. This is actually the case. Masaka Makoto under the normal state of LV5, the strongest lightning that broke out can reach 1 billion volts. This is 5 times the NL limit of 200 million volts. The gap can be seen in Madara. And after entering the realm of God LV6, I am afraid that it is not even the 6 paths level. But if your kid can grow at this speed, I'm relieved. It seems that lousy, Fourth Raikage, doesn't need to sit for a few years, so I have to leave it to you. Fourth Raikage opened his mouth and laughed wildly as he was being treated by the medical ninja. Obviously abdicating on the lips is a disappointing topic to outsiders. But Fourth Raikage is smiling. You know, because of Sarutobi Hiruzen's misjudgment in the Third Ninja War, he had to give up the position of Naruto to Namikaze Minato before he died. His expression looked like a dead father and mother. This is the difference between the folk customs of the two villages. Konaha, especially Konaha under Sarutobi Hiruzen. Those in power all want to hold all their strength in their palms. I don't want to let go when I die. Although Cloud Shinobi has many rights holders. But the folk way is that the strong respects the strong. As long as someone stronger than yourself appears, you should give up power. If you don't want to delegate power, it's simple. Work hard to become stronger. Even Raikage is the same. Now that there are people who are stronger than you in terms of strength and resourcefulness, you should change the position of Raikage to a more suitable person. Advertisement. Don't. You should continue to sit in this position. I don't want to sit in the office all the time and get moldy. Yèyuè Guāng raised his hand and swung lightly. Although he likes the simple and rude folk style of Cloud Shinobi Village. If I change to Konaha, I will pass through to become a member of the ninja clan. He has to be given to similar political struggles all day long. In Cloud Shinobi Village, I can fully devote my energy to enhancing my own strength. But Yèyuè Guāng has no interest in the location of the movie. Is the beauty in the family not beautiful anymore, or the wine in the tavern is not good? Signing documents in the office all day long. Wow, wow. When I returned to the door of the house, the cry of the familiar baby echoed in my ears. Yèyuè Guāng rushed to Samui's side, staring at Hinata in the middle of the tank, and asked. What's the matter? Did you pull it again? The big one or the small one? Samui scratched him, and said in a bad mood. Blind you, she is hungry. Yèyuè Guāng scratched his head helplessly, crying anyway, is there any difference between being hungry and pulling it? Why can't I see it by myself? Is this a woman's talent? You have only been a nanny for only 2 months, so you are so proficient. I'm going to breastfeed her. Samui said to himself. Feeding. Yèyuè Guāng was no longer sleepy. However, after opening the door, Samui just took out a baby bottle from the ninja bag and reached Hinata's mouth. Yèyuè Guāng, what are you thinking about? Samui violently stepped on Yèyuè Guāng's foot. Can she know what this B********* D is thinking? Chapter 9. Don't worry, the Konoha elders will kill him, more than 2,500 flowers plus more. Unlike the original story, where the Hyuga Hinata hijacking incident resulted in the death of Hyuga Hisashi, Konoha and Cloud Shinobi did not form an alliance. Because Konoha took the initiative to hand over the relationship with Hyuga Hinata. Now Cloud Shinobi and Konoha are just like the relationship between Sand Shinobi and Konoha. They are allies. The two parties do not infringe on each other, and only apply in advance, otherwise they are not allowed to step into the other's land and dependent countries. But this is only on the surface, whether it is Fourth Raikage or Yèyuè Guāng himself. They have been greedy for a long time in the Land of Fire, the most fertile land in the ninja world. However, it was only half a year after Hyuga Hinata was captured. Konoha has another big event. Chunin, one of Orochimaru, who has made great contributions to Konoha, is wanted as an S-class rebel and defected. According to the information returned by the spies planted in the Fire Country, the reason is that Orochimaru secretly kidnapped Konoha's baby for human experiments. But other shinobu villages didn't care about the reason. All they know is that Konoha has lost another genius. Ha ha ha, Konoha has one less troublesome figure. In the canyon training ground of Cloud Shinobi Village. Fourth Raikage laughed loudly, and strode to his side cousin who was doing a finger push-up and shouted. What do you think, Hikari? Now Konoha only has Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is in his 60s, who is not dead, can always send troops. Yèyuè Guāng rested on the ground with one thumb of his right hand, sitting with one finger push-ups. And on his back with muscles like bats, a baby girl with white skin and flawless skin was lying on it, making, cheering noises constantly from her mouth. Hyuga Hinata. No, maybe she should be called, Yèyuè Hinata. So cute. Azabui's eyes turned into hearts, and he leaned forward to lift Hinata. And as soon as he stretched out his hand, he was slapped back by Hinata. Can't you just give it a hug? Mabui grieved and said. Light, let me ask you. Advertisement. Seeing that his cousin did not answer, Fourth Raikage could only ask another question. To be honest, in Cloud Shinobi Village, no, even the entire ninja world can make Fourth Raikage speak patiently like this. There is only this cousin. The latest information just got, Jiraiya was retained by Sarutobi Hiruzen in Konoha. Yèyuè Guāng cast a look at his lover Samui who was standing on the edge of the training ground. Sam knew it, and handed a small set of scrolls to Fourth Raikage. Fourth Raikage took it and took a look. As expected, it is recorded that another, Chunin, Jiraiya who wandered outside all the year round returned to Konoha after Orochimaru defected. The B*************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Fourth Raikage angrily tore the scroll to pieces. Although he was jealous, he had to admit that Konoha had too many geniuses. As if to be favored by the heavens, one after another died. It's just like wildfires that are endless, and the spring breeze blows again. And recently I heard that another kid named Uchiha Shisui has risen. Since Konoha formed an alliance with Sand Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi at the beginning of the year. In the aftermath of the Third Ninja War, there was only a private conflict between the country of fire and the country of water. In the original work, Konoha's Ibiki Morino once fought against Hoshigaki Kisame in the country of Mizuno, and this is Madara. And if the Third Ninja War has achieved Namikaze Minato's reputation as golden glitter. The friction between Konoha and Mist Shinobi has now become Uchiha Shisui, Shimmering Shisui, and Uchiha's strongest phantom ninja. Just 6 months, Uchiha Shisui's name can be said to resound through the ninja world. Fourth Raikage is jealous, why is Konoha so many geniuses? It's like leeks, cut crop after crop. Don't worry, cousin, Jiraiya wants freedom. He won't stay in Konoha for long. When Yèyuè Guāng responded, he replaced the index finger with the right thumb of the one-finger push-up. Advertisement. If you look closely, you will find that his fingertips are shiny and reflective, and it is armament hockey. Yèyuè Guāng continued. As for Uchiha Shisui, don't worry, there is no need for us to take action. The Konoha elders will kill him. Yèyuè Guāng's words made Fourth Raikage and others puzzled. What is the reason for this? Except for a cage-level genius, which ninja village shouldn't be a baby. The Konoha elders died, why did Uchiha Shisui die? But even though my heart is puzzled, Fourth Raikage did not doubt Yèyuè Guāng's reasoning. The reason is simple, he never guessed to miss it. See Fourth Raikage and the dumbfounded look of Mabui and others. Yèyuè Guāng, sweating like rain, couldn't help but smile. That's right, A genius came out of General Ninja Village, and he should indeed hold it in his palm for fear of falling, and hold it in his mouth for fear of melting. But the key point is that the brain circuit of the Sarutobi Hiruzen quartet is different from ordinary people. Only one genius from his own village kills one. This is true of Hitaki before, and so is Uchiha Shisui now. By the way, Guang, where did you get this news? Fourth Raikage suddenly remembered something and asked. How did Yèyuè Guāng get information that Raikage didn't investigate himself? From Orochimaru. Yèyuè Guāng speaks amazingly. Once again, everyone's eyes widened. Chapter 10. Your person is going to collapse. Evaluation of more than 300 votes plus more. Yèyuè Guāng did not conceal that when he took Hinata from Konoha 6 months ago, he quietly handed a note to Orochimaru. A few days ago, Orochimaru was chased by the Konoha shinobi and fled into the country as Yunokuni. And Yunokuni is now a subject of Thunder. According to Konoha and Cloud Shinobi's alliance treaty. Before obtaining the consent of Raikage or the name of the Thunder Country in advance, the Fire Country is not allowed to enter the territory of the Thunder Country. In this way, the Konoha shinobi had to stop chasing and killing, and left with hatred. And Orochimaru will deliberately escape to the country of Tang, of course, because he and Yèyuè Guāng reached an agreement in advance. Afterwards, Orochimaru also abide by the agreement and dispatched the summoning snake to give Konoha's important information to Yèyuè Guāng. Among them are not only about his own defect, but also Sarutobi Shinosuke, Uchiha Shisui and other Konoha elite ninjas, such as Sarutobi Shinosuke, Anbu codenamed Yi, is currently the captain of Anbu. Uchiha Shisui, Anbu codenamed Crow, is currently the captain of the Anbu squad. And so on. And Yèyuè Guāng believes that I cannot doubt himself because of such things. This is why Yèyuè Guāng can truly help Cloud Shinobi Village for profit. Sure enough, after knowing that Yèyuè Guāng and Orochimaru had a relationship. After Fourth Raikage only pondered for a moment, he said. Orochimaru is quite dangerous, so be careful when dealing with him. After leaving only this order, Fourth Raikage didn't say much. Leaving the training ground with Tutai and other deputies. If it is replaced by Sarutobi Hiruzen, even if Yèyuè Guāng has not been questioned on the spot whether he colluded with the enemy and betrayed the village. At least a few Anbu team members must be sent to follow up. Gee, this is the gap. Huh, take a shower after cultivating, it's really refreshing. At home, Yèyuè Guāng walked out of the bathroom surrounded by towels. Although Enel is not armed in the original work, it has gone through a training template built into the system. Yèyuè Guāng can still learn. When I just came out, I happened to see Samui holding a bell toy beside the baby's wound, singing a lullaby in a lark-like tone. Go to sleep, my dear baby. Coaxing the Hyuga chicks on Chuang. Yèyuè Hinata fell asleep. Advertisement. As a traverser, Yèyuè Guāng can hardly associate the woman in front of him with the original Samui who always talks about, ninjas should be colder, and shoulders are sore, all day long. Why are you smiling so maternally? Don't forget that your character is Iceberg Beauty. Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but complain inside. Are you asleep? Yèyuè Guāng quietly leaned behind Samui and asked. Be quiet. Finally fell asleep, ba ga. Samui turned Lien around, and the personality of Bingshan Beauty instantly recovered. Yèyuè Guāng was speechless. Your face became too fast, right? Then let's do something business. Yèyuè Guāng gave a smirk, and decisively took Samui into his arms, and launched an attack on the E-class chariot full of evolution to F-class. After practicing, the body will enter a state of extreme excitement, and the combat effectiveness will be greatly enhanced. Come on, wear this one. Yèyuè Guāng held Samui in one hand, and took out a JK from the closet with the other hand. By the way, it was rabbit ears last time. Samui suddenly showed an expression of wanting to kill. But he couldn't hold back the other party. Had to be ashamed and angrily ready to change. Wow. So, there are pros and cons to turn the girl Hinata to Cloud Shinobi Village. Although the two lived together half a year ago, the world of these two people. Yèyuè Guāng never enjoyed it for a day. Good. Don't cry. When Hinata cried, Samui directly threw the JK suit aside, and even forgot that there was still empty under her. Run directly to the baby's wound. Yèyuè Guāng. I have to sigh that Hinata is really strong. After waking up, crying for more than an hour did not stop. This combat power is almost catching up with himself. Yèyuè Guāng, who was only wrapped in a towel, almost caught a cold. Advertisement. Yes, I can't do business this time. In desperation, Yèyuè Guāng can only deal with another business first. After changing clothes, he strode towards the entrance and exit of Cloud Shinobi Village. It is different from the leather armor that comes standard with most Cloud Shinobi ninjas. Yèyuè Guāng's service is more inclined to casual suits, probably because of the memory of previous lives and the awakening of Masaka Makoto template. Let him prefer modern clothing. Yunokuni is the country where Hidan was born in the future. Located at the back of the country of fire and south of the country of thunder. It was once a subject of the country of fire. But in the Third Ninja World War, due to the intervention of Yèyuè Guāng, a translator. As a result, in addition to the loss of Third Raikage, Thunder Country almost included all victories in other battles. And Yunokuni also changed his position and became a subject of Thunder. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. A few hours later, by the river in a small village in Unokuni. Don't hide, come out. A thunder light descended from the sky and descended by the riverside. After Lei Guang transformed into a human form, Yèyuè Guāng seemed to have spoken these words across the river, less than 5 seconds later. From the woods behind, a gloomy figure walked out. Konoha's S-rank rebel Orochimaru. I thought I asked Konoha for the hunt for me. If I give you Konoha's information, you and I will die of old age, just Kun. Orochimaru, who was still wearing a Konoha shinobi uniform, sneered hoarsely. I want to discuss with you the idea of destroying Konoha in the future. Yèyuè Guāng turned his head and walked straight into the Tao. Chapter 11 10,000 times stronger than Sage of Six Paths. The plan to destroy Konoha discussed by Yèyuè Guāng and Orochimaru is actually moving the big frame of Konoha's collapse plan planned by Orochimaru in the future. But even at that time, Konoha had already weakened and was almost second to last in the comprehensive strength of the 5 ninja villages. But Orochimaru still hasn't completed the true Konoha collapse. Just took the life of Sarutobi Hiruzen alone. Also put his own hands. The main reason is that first Hokage Senju Hashirama and second Hokage Senju Tobirama have a strong family base. Although only Sarutobi Hiruzen is left with a cage level. But similar to Naruto, Yamanaka High first class veteran is not a vegetarian. And don't forget that Hitaki Kakashi and Might Guy can be opened. It can only be said that first generation second generation is awesome, and the family property has been defeated by Sarutobi Hiruzen's prodigal for 50 years. Another reason is that there are still too few people sent by Orochimaru to attack Konoha. That's right, after all, the border of the country of fire is guarded by Konoha shinobi. It is not like the general frontal war, where the army can suppress the border. Can only sneak in secretly. At that time, Orochimaru had assembled 2 forces, Odonin and Sand Shinobi. But in fact, there are only a few hundred people at the top of the sky. What Yèyuè Guāng and Orochimaru discussed was an enhanced Konoha collapse plan. After discussing for about half an hour, even with Orochimaru's old yin ratio, dripping cold sweat couldn't help falling from his profile. It's worthy of being the number 2 figure in Cloud Shinobi Village when I was young. I'm afraid to be an enemy of you, Guang-kun. Let's talk here for the time being. After all, the plan can't keep up with the changes, and the specific steps will be discussed later. Yèyuè Guāng got up from the rock and asked, what's next? Where are you going? Hehe, couldn't Guang-kun make a place for me in Cloud Shinobi Village? Orochimaru asked tentatively with a weird smile. I am not afraid of snakes, but I am also not interested in raising snakes. Advertisement. Yèyuè Guāng responded with a smile. He is not afraid of Orochimaru, but he is too capable of doing things. I don't want to put him in my own turf. You know, Orochimaru used thousands of people to try his tricks in order to train Sasuke in the original book. And his messy experimental research, let alone know that it was built on the sacrifice of how many people. Yèyuè Guāng is not interested in this, it is his own business how Orochimaru will toss. But Yèyuè Guāng would never allow him to aim at his own territory. Orochimaru had never thought about how much help the other party would provide to him, and shrugged Kaido. As long as Minato died, after Mr. Sarutobi came back to the post, I have already arranged the back road. Just Kun, you don't have to worry about it. That's good, at least before Konoha destruction project, I really don't want you to die. Yèyuè Guāng's horns were slightly raised, then it turned into a lightning arc, which disappeared instantly. It's stronger again. Looking at the surface of the river, Orochimaru wrapped his hands in front of Yu Shang, secretly thought. And recalling the implementation plan of the Konoha destruction plan mentioned by Yèyuè Guāng just now, I couldn't help but poke out the snake's head to add a circle around my lips, and sneered constantly. Ms. Sarutobi, before you know it, your enemies are getting more and more, ha ha ha. Cloud Shinobi Village. After practicing, Yèyuè Guāng wore a white shirt on his shoulders. At first glance, he looked a bit like the home outfit of One Piece, Hawkeye Mihawk. At this moment, he is sitting cross-legged on the roof of his house. Now he is 8 months old, and his messy hair has gradually grown into Hinata with the same dark blue and short hair as in the future. He is sitting on Yèyuè Guāng's crossed legs, surrounded by the opponent's hands. I can vaguely see the embryonic form of some future beauty. Yèyuè Guāng was twisting both sides of a newly bought book with both hands, showing the content of the page in front of Hinata's eyes. On the cover of the book it says, Baby Teaching Words. Hinata. Yèyuè Guāng holds a book in his left hand, and points to the pronunciation in the book with his right to teach him, wanting Hinata to learn to say his name. Advertisement. Oh woo. Hinata was suddenly enlightened, and uttered a cry that people didn't understand at all. Yèyuè Guāng scratched his head helplessly, then pointed to the word on another page and said. Oh Kassen, Mom. Hey yeah. Hinata pouted her mouth and made a weird and cute sound. Yèyuè Guāng turned over Byakugan, resisting the urge to slap the girl's little butt. At a very young age, he became a stranger. Forget it, take your time. Oh Dosen, Dad. Yèyuè Guāng pointed to the next word at will. Oh, a lot, sang. Although the pronunciation is not very standard, it does speak the word clearly. FK. Yèyuè Guāng directly frightened a local accent. Immediately, he looked at Hinata with a devilish expression. The other party responded with an innocent look at him. This word will not be said in the future, be careful of river crab god tier. Yèyuè Guāng rubbed Hinata's little head and said. Hinata tilted her head unintentionally, she didn't understand the meaning of river crab god tier at all. That is an existence 10,000 times more terrifying than Sage of Six Paths. Yèyuè Guāng explained without a word. If you don't change this title, I'm afraid this book by the author of The Dog will be gone. But anyway, the word, O Duo Sang, became the first language word that Hinata learned. Chapter 12 Peek into the Realm of Gods. Konoha 51 years. This year can be regarded as the starting point for the entire ninja world to enter the era of peace. As Konoha has signed an alliance agreement with Sand Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. Now Mist Shinobi no longer has friction with Konoha, and returns to the country of water across the sea. The aftermath of the Third Ninja War finally calmed down. We have entered an era of peace in the true sense of the word. As for why Mist Shinobi suddenly withdrew his troops, Konoha does not know the specific reason. All in all, since they were willing to withdraw troops, of course it would be better for Konoha. But it may be that the psychological shadow of the knife behind Cloud Shinobi is too serious. Sarutobi Hiruzen still dispatched Morino Ibiki, Uchiha Shisui and others to dive into the water country to investigate the cause. But it ended in failure. It is hard to say the only benefit. I am afraid that the only way to make the name, Uchiha Shisui, resonate through the ninja world. In the Nine Tails disaster, Uchiha became the #1 suspect, and Hyuga Hinata, the eldest daughter of Hyuga Hiashi, was taken away by Cloud Shinobi Village after 2 major incidents. Konoha's 2 strongest clans have formed an unadjustable gap with the higher-ups. But compared to the Hyuga family, who had a low dispatch day under Hyuga Hiashi's orders. Even though Uchiha knew that he had been on the blacklist of the elders, he didn't mean to constrain at all. As a family who started Konoha with Senju, the word, proud, has long been carved into their bones. Lousy didn't do anything, why do you doubt me? Since the disaster of Nine Tails, the family land has been relocated to the southwest border area of the village. The Uchiha family does not have the same low-key meaning as the Hyuga family. On the contrary, it is becoming more and more rampant. Meet other Konoha shinobi people, especially Sarutobi Hiruzen's henchman like Kakashi. He even hung up an expression that the other party owed him 8 million. After Uchiha Shisui, another successor of the Will of Fire named Uchiha Itachi is quietly growing up. Cloud Shinobi Village, in the Cloud Canyon. The strongest Thor system. Open black lens bracket host. Yèyuè Guāng close black lens bracket. First template. Enel. Advertisement. Unlocking degree. 100%. Second template. Masaka Makoto. Unlocking rate. 20.6%. I scanned my own growth progress on the system panel, and felt the changes in the body's strength. An idea just emerged from Yèyuè Guāng's heart, and the system's mechanical prompt sounded after many years. Congratulations to host's second template. Masaka Makoto has been unlocked above 20%, and the second template has been automatically upgraded for host. Second template. Masaka Makoto absolutely capable person form, to reach the realm of God with a human body. Yèyuè Guāng was slightly startled when he heard the prompt from the system. LV6, which is to reach the realm of the gods. Remember that Masaka Makoto in the original book also did not reach it, right? No, that's not right. It seemed that it had only reached a moment, and it was a moment shorter than a blink of an eye. And the meaning of the system is, can you achieve it perfectly? Thinking of this, Yèyuè Guāng's expression became more and more excited. Boy, you dare to wander around the world when you fight against me. As the target of Yèyuè Guāng's cultivation, Fourth Raikage roared like a thunder. The lightning-style chakra burst out all over his body, and his right arm opened wide, like a huge sharp blade slashing towards Yèyuè Guāng. That's his unique skill as an AB combination with Killer B. Double Lariat. Cousin, the hell stab of the 3rd generation old man, can you still learn it? Yèyuè Guāng said helplessly. Shut up, shut up. Let's take Lousy's trick first. Fourth Raikage's face blushed, and he shouted in shame. His father's famed stunt hell stab. Of course, the cultivation method has to stay. But it is a pity. Just like Senju Tobarama, he left away to practice Flying Thunder God. But after so many years, only Namikaze Minato has learned the same. Fourth Raikage couldn't learn his father's famous tricks. This can be said to be the pain of his life. Attacks, defenses, and skills are far inferior to his father who stepped into the Super Cage level. The only thing that might be a little better is speed. It can also be regarded as the only comfort in my heart. Advertisement. After all, 3rd Hokage is the strongest Hokage in history, absolutely watered pork. But 3rd Raikage is the strongest Raikage in history, and it definitely lives up to its name. Tisk. In full view, Yèyuè Guāng took out a coin again and flicked it up with his thumb. Does that trick again? The two who watched the game were surprised by Wooden Golem. But after several years of hard training, my defensive power has increased again. Killer B interface said. Sure enough, facing Yèyuè Guāng's movement of bouncing coins. Fourth Raikage did not evade, and did not bother to make a defensive posture, but continued to charge with double lariat's posture, shouting. Good coming. Let you see how much I have strengthened the defense of lightning-style chakra armor in the past few years. Obviously, Fourth Raikage is a super electromagnetic gun that wants to face Yèyuè Guāng. Cousin, you are not the only one who has become stronger over the years. Yèyuè Guāng responded with a chuckle. The tip of the thumb hooked on the inner joint of the index finger suddenly popped out and flew out along with the fallen coin. Railgun. Puff. Boom. In an instant, Fourth Raikage's shoulder was directly pierced. The coin rushed in from his shoulder, and then rushed out from behind his shoulder. Under the double mixed sound of thunder and lightning neighing and flame explosion. Behind Fourth Raikage, there is an extra straight ravine about 30 meters long, braving thunder and Mars. An instant. Not only the Cloud Shinobi ninja watching the game, but even the killer bee inside the killer bee are stupid. Although Yèyuè Guāng's super electromagnetic gun also broke the Fourth Raikage's lightning-style chakra armor the year before. But it was only submerged in the flesh and skin of the other party. This time, directly penetrated. And facing, it is the lightning-style armor that is stronger than the previous year. It can only be said that it is the growth of Master Everbright, which is more exaggerated than Master Raikage. Azabuye swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Chapter 13 messed up. Really don't want to be promoted to Fifth Raikage. After the practice of the battle, Fourth Raikage mentioned this topic again and again. It is different from Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is unwilling to give up the power to his death. In a village, the film is getting older and feels powerless, and will assign positions to more suitable candidates in advance. For example, during the Bo Ren biography period, Terumi Mei and I both gave up their positions to Chengjuro and Darui without dying. But now there should be no more pineapple heads to make people sick. Although these two people are a bit far worse than the previous one. Especially for Chojuro, damn it is simply a shame of cage level. But right now, Yèyuè Guāng has perfectly demonstrated strength and strategy stronger than himself. Fourth Raikage wanted to pass the position to him in advance, which naturally became a matter of course. Brother, there is still room for improvement in your strength, not to mention that I have said it many times and have no interest in this position. Yèyuè Guāng waved his hand in refusal, although he himself didn't know how many times he refused. Oh Dusan. A tender voice suddenly came from a distance, making Yèyuè Guāng tremble sharply. Turning to look at the entrance of the cultivation gorge. A girl with extremely cute facial features, like a porcelain doll, is walking towards Yèyuè Guāng with a pair of short legs. Unlike the dark skin of most Cloud Shinobi Village residents, their white faces are like fine white jade. What's more conspicuous is that her pupils and focus are all white like pearls. This is something that Cloud Shinobi Village has absolutely no second person. Just when the girl trod over, the uneven ground suddenly hit her toes. The girl exclaimed, she was about to fall to the ground. Call. In the eyes of Fourth Raikage and others, only an electric arc passed. Turning around, Yèyuè Guāng had firmly embraced the girl who was about to fall in the next moment. Thank you Dusan. Advertisement. The girl grabbed Yèyuè Guāng's neck in excitement, rubbing her soft and frozen face against the other's face. Hinata, don't call this name in the future. Yèyuè Guāng held Hinata with his right hand, and rubbed his left hand on his brow twice to relieve his headache. Why? Hinata tilted her head in confusion. Because this book is easily killed by the river crab god Tier. Yèyuè Guāng popped out words that Hinata couldn't understand. Hey, have you forgotten what day it is? At this time, Samui also asked with one hand on his hips, looking directly into Yèyuè Guāng's eyes with a cold face. It doesn't seem to be a holiday today. Yèyuè Guāng made a look of trying to recall and said to himself. Boom. Suddenly, Hinata's grievances when he heard these words turned into a strange thing. How could I forget it? This year is Hinata's birthday. Yèyuè Guāng's puzzled expression suddenly changed, turning into a hearty smile to Hinata. Oh Dusan is the best. Hinata turned from sorrow to joy in an instant, and once again hugged Yèyuè Guāng's neck and waved. You said don't call me that, watch out for river crabs. Yèyuè Guāng was extremely helpless. By the way, this girl's personality is much more cheerful than the original. It may also be the result of the unrestrained atmosphere of Cloud Shinobi Village. As long as it doesn't become a man like Karui. Remember the parallel world or the movie plot in the original work. Hinata's personality seems to have undergone a big change. Directly change into a bad eldest sister with a hot temperament. It's really hard to stand up. Hinata is still the soft girl with the best character. On December 27, 51, Konaha, Yèyuè Hinata was 3 years old. Advertisement. With those flawless white eyes, the villagers of Cloud Shinobi Village knew at a glance that she was not from Thunder Country. But because of Yèyuè Guāng, Hinata did not experience endless hatred and discrimination like Naruto, who was in Konaha at the moment. On the contrary, it is more like the official second generation of Konohamaru. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. In the middle of the table at home, beside the cake with 3 candles inserted, Samui was singing a birthday song softly. Hinata put on the birthday hat of the little birthday star and looked at the cake in the center of the table with bright eyes. Okay, Hinata, make a wish. Samui, the beauty of the iceberg, would only show such a gentle smile in front of Hinata. Because Yèyuè Guāng can always kill her with anger. The reason? The pile of nurses in the closet, dead reservoir water, 3-point style, OL clothes to understand. I hope to be a great ninja like Odosen, and a gentlewoman like Sister Samui. Hinata put her hands together, closed her eyes and muttered to herself. In such a warm atmosphere, when I heard Hinata muttering to himself in a low voice, Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but a little black line appeared. Your girl's name is Messi, right? Speaking of brother-in-law. Azai suddenly remembered something, and moved to Yèyuè Guāng's side and whispered. You can start gathering chakra at the age of 3, right? Ah, ninja clan children are like this. Yèyuè Guāng nodded. 3 years old is an important watershed for children in this world, especially the children of the ninja clan. This means that you can start to gather chakra, formally practice ninjutsu, and start training to become a ninja. Yèyuè Guāng also started practicing at the age of 3. Looking at Hinata who was starting to nibble on the cake, Yèyuè Guāng suddenly thought of a question. How does Hinata's training route go? Chapter 14 Konoha. No one who is stronger than Hokage is allowed to exist. Although Hinata is a cute base, Yèyuè Guāng also thinks it is pretty good. But not now, she still shoulders the heavy responsibility of becoming Hokage. What Hinata learned in the original book is the Hyuga family tradition gentle fist. To be honest, the Hyuga family's boxing technique, it's a bit hard to describe in a word. Although Byakugan claims to be on par with Uchiha's Sharingan, Uchiha was exterminated. Hyuga Hiashi also talked about the phrase, Hyuga Noguchi is the strongest, all day long. But throughout the Ninja Village era, it will be the end of the Fourth Ninja World War. Are there any awesome characters in the Hyuga family? Cage level doesn't seem to be counted. The only pretending to be forced is that Otsutsuki Kagaya, the ancestor, is resurrected. A hand that can smash the entire body of Susanoo's divine air strike. That's probably the gentle fist, in the true sense. But Yèyuè Guāng can never get Kagayaji's gentle fist training method to teach Hinata, right? Who are you looking for? Black Zetsu. Moreover, the gentle fist cultivation method of the Hyuga family is not currently available to Yèyuè Guāng. When I abducted Hinata from Konoha 3 years ago, I forgot to ask them for the gentle fist training method. Forget it, let's condense chakra first. Yèyuè Guāng will leave other trivial matters behind and enjoy Hinata's birthday party first. Just when Yèyuè Guāng was ready to relax, suddenly, a slap of cream suddenly covered his face. NS. Who is so bold? This cute girl Hinata is of course impossible, and she doesn't have that big hand. The stinky boy Azzy is even less daring, then there is only. Noticing that Sam was holding cream in his hand and trying to hold back his smiling expression, Yèyuè Guāng cursed inwardly. Neezy, the courage is getting fatter and fatter. Lousy walks the back door tonight. Advertisement. At the same time as the birthday party, Konoha village is thousands of miles away. Brother, it is said that sister-in-law is willing to. Congratulations. In the clan patriarch's residence in the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hisashi has a complicated expression towards Hyuga Hiashi. He just heard from the servant that Mrs. Hiashi seemed to have managed to get out of the psychological shadow of losing the eldest daughter and was willing to give birth to her husband again. You know, since that happened in Hinata, Mrs. Hiashi has never been able to get out of the psychological shadow of losing her daughter. Also refused to give birth to another child, and now finally agreed, the clan can continue to pass on from generation to generation. Today is Hinata's birthday. Hyuga Hiashi took a deep breath and said. I don't know how she spent in Cloud Shinobi. Brother, your petition for entry to Cloud Shinobi has not been approved yet. Hyuga Hisashi asked. Since Konoha and Cloud Shinobi established an alliance, the two sides wanted to enter each other's land. You must get the consent of the other party's movie or daimyo in advance. In the past 3 years, in order to know how my daughter is doing in Cloud Shinobi Village. The Hiashi and his wife also sent out an entry application to Leijikuni. However, as soon as this question was asked, Hyuga Hisashi wanted to slap himself. Isn't this question superfluous? How could Thunder Country agree? Sure enough, he looked sideways and quietly looked at Hyuga Hiashi's black expression. Hyuga Hisashi knew the answer. One thing, have you heard? Hyuga Hiashi said coldly. Hyuga Hisashi frowned in doubt. The strength of Cloud Shinobi Village Yèyuè Guāng. It is said that it has surpassed Fourth Raikage and became the strongest person in Cloud Shinobi Village. When Hyuga Hiashi mentioned the name, his tone was obviously aggravated. Is it stronger again? Advertisement. When Hyuga Hisashi heard this, he couldn't help but let out a sigh of emotion. Yes, after all, Yèyuè Guāng is not more than 20 years old and has room for substantial growth. In time, it might become the Third Raikage. The ordinary ninjas in Ninja Village surpassed the shadow of a village. Did it happen once in Konoha's history? At that time in White Fang. Hyuga Hiashi just mentioned the name. Hyuga Hisashi's face changed suddenly, and he whispered. Big brother. That name, you can't say it casually. That's right, Yèyuè Guāng, as an ordinary ninja who is not a shadow of a village, has a strength that surpasses Raikage, who is supposed to be the strongest in a village. In Konoha's history, it also happened once. Konoha's White Fangtooth, Hatake Tsukumo, as a civilian ninja, he surpassed Sarutobi Hiruzen who was in Naruto at the time. However, the end. Died of suicide due to rumors. When Hyuga Hiashi and others, who were still young at the time, heard the news, they all felt nonsense. A cage-level pinnacle existence, how to say it will die. Later, I heard that the source of the rumors seemed to come from the Shimura family. Well, I dare not say the next thing. We can know that this news was sent by Cloud Shinobi Village on the initiative. We want to tell us this way that they have another strong in Shinobi Village. Hyuga Hiashi was full of emotions. But, didn't Konoha also make a genius like Uchiha Shisui? Hyuga Hisashi tried to refute. But it appears pale and weak, because Uchiha Shisui belongs to the Uchiha family, not Hyuga. Uchiha Shisui, how long can he live? Hyuga Hiashi sneered. Compare it and find out immediately. Konoha and Cloud Shinobi are really very different. Raikage doesn't care if the recipient surpasses him, and thinks it's a great thing. If you change to Naruto, Hyuga Hiashi couldn't help but look far away at the Sarutobi Hiruzen rock sculpture on the mountain wall of Konoha. It's the one who doesn't kill that person. This village does not allow anyone stronger than Hokage to exist. Chapter 15. It has become the shape of Yèyuè. Evaluation votes over 600 plus more. Konoha 12 Xiaoqiang's generation, speaking of it, is relatively happy. After all, since their birth, the ninja world has basically entered the era of peace. Compared to the generation of Yèyuè Guāng and Kakashi and others of the same age, they had at least a happy childhood. Except for the prince who was not blackened by the Konoha high-level pit. And the two pillars whose parents and a clan were all killed. Konoha Xiaoqiang, who were mostly born in the ninja clan, have passed 3 years of age this year. Also began to gradually practice the cohesion of chakra. Prepare for admission to ninja school in the future. Only the orphan Naruto is an exception. No one knows yet. 8-year-old Uchiha Itachi, while out on a mission. Sharingan has been turned on because his companion was killed by a mysterious person. It's amazing, already able to condense chakra. In the training gorge of Cloud Shinobi Village, I felt the breath of Hinata sitting in the center of the training field. As a perceptual ninja, she, who is known as Fourth Raikage left hand in the future, exclaimed. There is nothing to fuss about, after all, it is Princess Byakugan who will only be born for hundreds of years. Yèyuè Guāng, who was sitting leisurely on the other side of the training ground, said calmly. As a descendant of Otsutsuki Hamura of non-pure blood, they have the ability to touch the giant Tenseigan. Hinata's potential can be seen in Madara. It's a pity that she didn't get any better instruction in the original book until the end of the Fourth Ninja World War. If Tsunade's disciple is not Haruno Sakura but Hinata. In the finale, Kagaya in the 7th class trio didn't feel like a violation. Princess Byakugan, Everbright, what is that? She asked curiously. I don't want to explain, it's too much trouble. Yèyuè Guāng waved his hand. Advertisement. She had a black line on his face. At this time, Darui came up with a yawn, patted she on the shoulder and said. The boss told us to go, let's go. She nodded, and rushed to the Raikage building with Darui. Yèyuè Guāng walked to Hinata. Facing the opponent's pair of Shui Lingling, he almost wrote the words, hurry up and praise me, in the big eyes of his pupils. Yèyuè Guāng was also stingy with his compliments, and chuckled lightly. Amazing, Hinata, hee. Hinata suddenly smiled like a flower. Since chakra has been initially condensed, you should try this now. Yèyuè Guāng then handed Hinata another slap-sized blank sheet of paper. This is. After taking it, Hinata blinked curiously. Chakra paper can be used to test your chakra attributes. Yèyuè Guāng quickly explained the efficacy of this piece of paper and the 5 basic properties of chakra to Hinata. Although he is a traverser, Hinata, and even all the ninjas of the Hyuga family, only use gentle fist. I can't see the attributes of chakra at all. After Hinata understood, Wei tried to introduce chakra into the paper. In the next second, the chakra paper was split into 2 instantly from the middle. On the left, there are dense folds, while on the right, sparks ignite and quickly turn into ashes. Are they actually fire and thunder? If you hadn't seen it with your own eyes, Yèyuè Guāng himself would be a little unbelievable. In principle, shouldn't the soft girl like Hinata be attributed to water? This kind of soft and cute girl actually possesses fire and thunder, the 2 most aggressive attributes. But it's okay, it seems that you and Cloud Shinobi Village still pair well. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and said. Hinata tilted her head in confusion. At this time, Darui and she, who had just left, returned and said with an anxious expression. Advertisement. Master Everbright, Master Raikage invites you to go. It just so happens, I have something to look for him. Yèyuè Guāng half turned his head to respond, and then hugged Hinata in his arms. Go to the Raikage administration building with the 2. Inside Raikage's office, seeing Yèyuè Guāng's arrival, Fourth Raikage quickly put down the documents in his hand and said. Have you come? Hikari, the spy just sent back news. Wait, listen to me first. Without waiting for the other party to finish speaking, Yèyuè Guāng raised his hand to stop. Can you give me the hell stab training method left by the old man Third Raikage? Fourth Raikage's eyebrows raised fiercely, and asked in an incredible way. What, have you finally decided to practice? As early as before Third Raikage's death, he planned to pass on this stunt to his son and Yèyuè Guāng. However, Fourth Raikage can't learn anything, so I can only learn double lariat instead. At that time, Yèyuè Guāng devoted himself to the development of Thunder Fruit's abilities, and was not interested. This stunt was lost in this way. Fortunately, Third Raikage left the practice method. But just like the bunch of forbidden techniques left by Senju Tobarama, no one has learned it. Upon hearing Yèyuè Guāng's request, everyone present couldn't help being curious. Is it possible that he wants to pick up this trick and re-practice it? No, I'm not practicing, she's practicing. Yèyuè Guāng gave a smirk, as if showing some treasure, and put his hands in Hinata's arms. Whether it is the surname or the practice of ninjutsu, Hinata has become the shape of Yèyuè Guāng. Chapter 16 Shameless Fourth Raikage Evaluation Ticket broke 900 plus more. Looking at being held by Yèyuè Guāng with both hands, he is less than 1 meter tall, like a hamster selling cute Hinata. Cooperate with Yèyuè Guāng's phrase, she's here to practice hell stab. Fourth Raikage and others, how do you put it? It feels funny. Lord Everbright, are you kidding me? Tutai said ashamed, am I like a joke? Yèyuè Guāng put Hinata down. Although he has a slightly more cheerful personality than the original, Hinata shyly shrank behind Yèyuè Guāng's trouser legs under the circumstance of being stared at by so many people. You brag have to have a limit, okay. Fourth Raikage didn't have a good air. Just this little girl, can you learn the daddy's hell stab? Don't say it too early, cousin, if you fail to learn it doesn't mean that others cannot learn it. Yèyuè Guāng narrowed Kaido with a smile. Everyone present felt numb in their scalp. Cloud Shinobi Village who doesn't know that failing to learn the hell stab is the biggest pain in Fourth Raikage's life. However, Yèyuè Guāng also likes to keep revealing the other's scars. Sure enough, Tutai, Mabuyi and others looked at Fourth Raikage again. I saw that his face was pale, and he felt like he was about to rush out to punch someone in the next second. However, what everyone did not expect was, not only did Fourth Raikage didn't do anything, the anger on his face suddenly turned into a smile a few seconds later. Hey, really confident. That's not as good as this, let's make a bet. With that, Fourth Raikage's rough fingers pointed towards Hinata who was hiding behind Yèyuè Guāng's trouser legs, and said with a weird smile. 10 years are an appointment, bet that girl can learn, if you lose, you will serve as Cloud Shinobi's 5th Raikage. Good calculation, Lord Raikage. Tutai, Darui and others applauded inwardly. 10 years later, Fourth Raikage is in his 40s, although he is still in the prime time of ninja. Advertisement. But there is almost no possibility of continued growth. At that time, Yèyuè Guāng, who was less than 30 years old, was undoubtedly the best candidate to take over the position of Raikage, comparable to third generation. It is a pity that Yèyuè Guāng has repeatedly expressed no interest in Raikage's location. It makes Fourth Raikage and Tutai feel a headache. Everyone present except Yèyuè Guāng didn't think that Hinata might learn hell stab in 10 years. Fourth Raikage has such a high talent that he hasn't learned it in 20 years. I reject. However, Yèyuè Guāng directly poured cold water on Fourth Raikage without saying a word. Why, don't you dare? Fourth Raikage asked, winking. Use less boring aggressive methods against me, brother, this bet is not fair to me at all. Yèyuè Guāng Tan Shou Dao. If you win, I will sit in your broken office and sign documents. I'm too bad. What if I win? What can you give me? As soon as this word came out, Fourth Raikage was speechless for a moment. After scratching his head for a long time, and not knowing how to answer, he couldn't help but look at his assistant's soil platform. He noticed the boss's eyes asking for help. The soil platform also made trouble at once. Thinking about it carefully, Master Raikage does not seem to be able to seduce Master Yèyuè Guāng with a bargaining chip. Ninjutsu. Don't be kidding, don't talk about Cloud Shinobi Village now. Looking at the entire ninja world, I'm afraid I can't find a few that can defeat Yèyuè Guāng. That power. Not to mention this, he didn't even bother to ask for the position of Raikage. After thinking about it, Tutai felt that there was nothing else that could impress Yèyuè Guāng. What about beauties? But the flowers of Cloud Shinobi Village have been acquired by Yèyuè Guāng, and they have all been transformed into his shape. At this time, from the corner of Tutai's eyes, he accidentally caught a glimpse of the Fourth Raikage secretary, who was also the Tiansong technique teleporter Mabuyi. Advertisement. If Samui is the first village flower in Cloud Shinobi Village, Mabuyi is undoubtedly second. Ahem. Tutai coughed twice and motioned Fourth Raikage to look at Mabuyi. At first, Fourth Raikage, a muscular idiot, couldn't understand it. In the end, with great difficulty, Tutai turned his gaze to Mabuyi after repeated gazes. At this moment, he realized. If I lose, then, that Mabuyi loses to you. Fourth Raikage hesitated for a while, and finally shouted, pointing to the clerk on the other side. To be honest, it was a shame to use a secretary as a bargaining chip, but he only hesitated for half a second. Mabuyi was so frightened that he slammed the file in his hand to the ground with a click. Don't understand why this fire burned to her. When I noticed that the eyes of all the people present were focused on her, especially when I felt the eyes of Yèyuè Guāng. A blush flashed across Mabuyi's face. Fortunately, her skin color is brown, which is not easy to find. Samui actually has another identity. Yèyuè Guāng and Sam Yi are classmates in the same class. Back then, she had an inexplicable feeling for Yèyuè Guāng, who was exceptionally gifted among her peers. But knowing that his external conditions are really incomparable with Sam Yi, he can only secretly hide this thought in my heart. But I didn't expect that the old things will be brought up again in this form today. Suddenly the heart can't help but be upset. You are too shameless. Cousin, use your secretary as a bargaining chip. Yèyuè Guāng said with a laugh. Chapter 17 Schizophrenia Uchiha Runto. According to Yèyuè Guāng, Fourth Raikage also felt that this approach was not appropriate. Maui is not his personal belongings, so using it as a bargaining chip is a bit too much. Master Raikage, Maui agrees. Just when Fourth Raikage had no choice but to cancel the gambling contract. Chutai suddenly interjected. For a moment, everyone looked at Maui. Fourth Raikage curled his eyebrows and asked. Maui, you agree? Me, even with the coffee complexion as a natural barrier, it is difficult to conceal the shame on Maui's face at this moment. Cough. Chutai let out a dry cough and interjected again. As a member of Cloud Shinobi, Azabui is willing to contribute to the future of the village, right? Yes. Maui didn't dare to look at Yèyuè Guāng's eyes. He only felt his cheeks hot and he lowered his head and said in a low voice. Both, all for the future of Cloud Shinobi. Seeing Maui's answer, Chutai hurriedly pushed the boat along the way. Master Raikage, Master Everbright, since Maui has no objection, I don't think there is a problem. Although Fourth Raikage is a fat guy with his brain full of muscles, he is surprised that Maui's attitude is a little weird. But also quickly said, yes, since there is no objection, then it's so decided. Maui, go to the ninjutsu storeroom and get the Hell Stab training scroll left by my father. In their eyes, as long as this gambling agreement is established, it is a certainty that Yèyuè Guāng will lose the position of Raikage. Can you learn? Advertisement. Can you learn Hell Stab? In 10 years, Yèyuè Hinata can learn this skill, and I, Fourth Raikage, ate this desk on the spot. Okay, Fourth Raikage didn't say that, but it was almost the same in his mind. Yèyuè Guāng rubbed his temples helplessly, and looked at his old classmate Maui. The other party noticed his eyes, swished again, turned his face to the other side, and walked out of the office quickly. After a while, he took back a set of scrolls and handed them to Yèyuè Guāng. From beginning to end, I didn't dare to look at Yèyuè Guāng. Master Raikage, don't forget the business. Chutai reminded again. Oh, really, I almost forgot. Fourth Raikage slapped his forehead and said seriously. Light, it's something to ask you to come, and it has something to do with Kurigakure. Mist Shinobi. Yèyuè Guāng's eyes faintly. At this time, I must be in a state of being controlled by Obito. In the original work, Terumi Mei once described this period as Mist Shinobi, who was ravaged by Fourth Mizukage as a toy and suffered humiliation. Yèyuè Guāng even suspected that the third Mizukage had been manipulated by Uchiha Madara before fourth Mizukage Yagura was manipulated by Obito. After all, the cause of the death of Nohara Lin and the blackening of Uchiha Runto was the pursuit of Mist Shinobi Anbu. Uchiha Madara was able to dispatch Mist Shinobi Anbu, indicating that at that time, he might have controlled the third Mizukage of the then Mist Shinobi in power. After all, no matter which ninja village, Anbu only takes orders. Half a year ago, fourth Mizukage Yagura had a big change in temperament. He not only made drastic reforms to Mist Shinobi's ninja management system, but also targeted the blood-spinning family. The Soil Platform explained. The current Kurigakure has become a mess. It is said that Ghost Lanterns, Kagaya, Snow Clan and many other Mist Shinobi's bloody ninth clan have been expelled from the village and hunted down. Having said that, Chutai paused for a while, and said. Especially the Snow Clan of Bing Dun, it is said that they have survived in name only. Advertisement. To be honest, Run 2, a schizophrenic who was transferred from a licking dog, could do everything like killing his teacher. It is not impossible to kill for one's own desires. However, Yèyuè Guāng speculates that his greatest possibility of Mist Shinobi's blood succession limit ninja is to clear Kurigakure's masters and make room for Akatsuki's development. Speaking of which, Mist Shinobi also has a lot of blood succession boundary families, second only to Konaha, right? Fourth Raikage complained with envy and jealousy. Among the 5 biggest ninja villages, Cloud Shinobi is the least. So what? What do you want me to do specifically? Yèyuè Guāng asked. Now Kurigakure's ninja, who was once in the blood of the boundary bloodline, is facing fourth Mizukage's chase and fleeing. Chutai explained. Whether it is Kagaya's dead bone pulse, Ghost Moon's liquefaction, or Snow Clan's ice dunge, they are all extremely powerful blood inheritance boundaries. Can you please take a trip to Master Guang? After all, it would be a pity that the owners of the blood succession boundary were killed like this. Quote. Hey, after all, it's scalloped wool. Yèyuè Guāng smiled uncontrollably. Aren't you the best at abducting people? After all, there is one. Fourth Raikage glanced at Hinata behind Yèyuè Guāng's trousers, chuckles. Thinking about it carefully, Kurigakure really has a lot of talents. Only Orochimaru, the main force of the human trafficker in the future, Kagaya Kimimaro and Gaidong Shueyu, came from Kurigakure. Master Everbright, what do you think? Chutai asked. If you don't squeeze, let's be honest, Mist Shinobi in this period has more hidden talents than Konaha. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and said. Chapter 18. Do you still have a crush on him? Konaha in this period can be said to have been basically destroyed by the elders headed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. There's not much wool to squeeze. Yèyuè Guāng, a traverser, think about it carefully. Before the beginning of the original plot, Konaha's birth to be able to count the strong people, it seems that there are only 2 or 5 sons Uchiha Shisui and filial son Uchiha Itachi. For these two products that have won the inheritance of Sarutobi Hiruzens, will of fire. Yèyuè Guāng is really unable to promote solicitation. Although the brain circuits of the Uchiha clan are not normal. But these two are definitely the best among them. Think about who else can gather. I am afraid it is only like Hinata, Hyuga Hinata who owns the purest Byakugan. This seems to have not been born yet. I'll talk about it later. In comparison, Kurigakure, a fat sheep, has more wool. Kagaya, Ghost Lantern, Snow Clan. These fierce heirs to the limit are facing Obito's chase and fleeing everywhere. Don't do it for nothing. I'll go there. After a response, Yèyuè Guāng pulled Hinata and turned around to leave. Before leaving, he cast a glance at Mabuyi and reminded. Don't force yourself. This is just for the future of Cloud Shinobi. Azabuyi said awkwardly. Yèyuè Guāng said it was so good, what you say is what you say. Bang. After the door was closed, Fourth Raikage also said to Mabuyi. Mabuyi, really, is it okay? If you don't want to, this bet should be cancelled. No, nothing, it's all for the village. Mabuyi said with a strange expression. Haha, Lord Raikage hasn't found it yet. Mabuyi has always been secretive to Lord Everbright, we just follow the boat. Tutai smiled. Advertisement. Huh, really? Fourth Raikage said in disbelief. Ah, Mabuyi screamed with his mind punctured, and ran out of the door with shame and anger. After delivering Hinata to Samui, Yèyuè Guāng did not make more stops and set off for Kurigakure. Although he got the training scroll of Hell Spikes. But it is of course impossible to start training now. The basic skills of chakra cohesion, tree climbing, and water treading have not yet been learned. In addition, you also need lightning-style chakra mode as a buff to use, and some practice. Samui is fully capable of the current basic chakra teachings. So even if Yèyuè Guāng is not there, it doesn't matter. Looking at Hinata, who was learning to release chakra in the middle of the training ground, Sam looked down at the training scroll that Yèyuè Guāng had handed him before he walked forward, and said to himself. Is that guy crazy? How could Hinata learn this trick? Same as Fourth Raikage, Tutai and others thought. Samui doesn't think Hinata can learn this trick either. But it doesn't hurt to try. A few hours later, Hinata, who had finished his day of practice, was walked home by Samui holding a small hand. When seeing the past two girls, a pair of Cloud Shinobi ninjas whispered. Hey, have you heard of that? What's the matter? It is said that Raikage-sama and Everbright-sama made a gambling agreement to let the Byakugan-eyed little girl learn Hell Stab in 10 years. Huh, just kidding. Master Raikage hasn't learned it for 20 years, how could that little girl? In other words, it is said that the gambling contract is that Everbright will be appointed as 5th generation in 10 years' time. I think the ending is set. Another Cloud Shinobi curiously said. Then, what if Lord Raikage loses? Although I felt that I could not lose, but because of curiosity, the Cloud Shinobi Chunin couldn't help but ask. Hehe, it seems to be a betrothal to Master Mabuyi to Master Everbright. Another Cloud Shinobi Chunin smirked. Advertisement. Oh my god, this is too happy. It's not enough to have Samui already. Even Mabuyi, Cloud Shinobi's second village flower, is going to be picked. The listener said just lemon. Haha, it's a pity that I don't think Master Everbright doesn't have this Yanfu, he can't win this bet. The other party laughed. What are you guys saying? The indifferent voice suddenly entered the ears of the two of them, and they turned their heads subconsciously to look, just in time to meet Sam Yi's indifferent eyes. The two of them were so scared that they fell to the ground. I saw Sam condescendingly, and said in an icy voice. Give me the complete, repeat it. The two grumbled and swallowed. Think you won't be killed, right? 5 minutes later, Hinata and Samui set foot on the way home again, but I don't know if it was an illusion. I always feel that Sister Sammy's body exudes a kind of chill. Ah, it's Miss Azabuyi. Hinata shouted suddenly. Sam Yi, who bowed his head with a cold face, looked up, just in time to meet the dumbfounded look in the opposite Azabuyi. Talk. After a while, Samui, the beauty of the iceberg, took the initiative to speak. After bringing Hinata home to sleep. In a home pub in Cloud Shinobi Village. Samui and Mabuyi, who were former classmates, sat opposite each other in a box in the bar. How long ago has it been sitting together and talking like this? Azabuyi gave a strong laugh, biting his scalp to break the silence. It seems that after graduating from the ninja school, there is no more. Sam Yi took a sip of his wine, blushing on his white cheeks, and asked after tangling for a while. Do you still have a crush on him? Chapter 19. The bragging is realized. Azabuyi has a crush on Yèyuè Guāng, as early as 10 years ago when the three of them were in a class at the Cloud Shinobi Ninja School. Samui knew it, but it is different from the plastic sisters of Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino in the original work, who turned from friends to enemies in order to compete for the second pillar. After seeing Yèyuè Guāng and Sam Yi getting closer and closer, Mabuyi withdrew silently. In the future, try to avoid taking the initiative to appear in front of the two. Although Samui had Lin Shi in mind about this, he did not take any concrete actions. She doesn't have any special hobbies, so should she help her love rival? Today, after learning about the gambling appointment from those two Cloud Shinobi Chunin, Samui guessed it, Mabuyi did not abandon this relationship. After all, it is different from the old fox like Sarutobi Hiruzen who kidnapped the phrase, for the village, all day long. Fourth Raikage, the gorilla disdains moral kidnapping. If Mabuyi didn't want to, this gamble would not be established. Mabuyi still has a secret crush on Yèyuè Guāng. That. Azabuyi was speechless, not knowing how to answer. To be honest, she was a little overjoyed when she heard Fourth Raikage's proposal. It's been 10 years. Are you really persistent? According to your conditions, what man can't find, you have to pounce on that B*******************. D. Samui poured sake into his mouth again, as if to vent. He glanced sideways at Azabuyi who was sitting across from him. Although I dare not say that he is the allure character, it is different from Karui's all black but a unique coffee complexion. Coupled with her graceful posture, she is definitely one of 1,000. Why do you have to hang a heart on the B************ D. Yèyuè Guāng? On the contrary, he can't win by himself anyway, don't worry about it. Azabu Yijang smiled. Did he do what he said? Samui's rhetorical question left Mabuyi speechless again. Think about it, it really is. Advertisement. So far, Yèyuè Guāng has put forward ideas and plans that do not know how many in their eyes are fantastic. If the strategy of the Third Ninja War is still the plan to take Hinata 3 years ago. In the eyes of others, it is an impossible task. But Yèyuè Guāng did it all without fail. And this time, the two women were silent, just drinking in silence. It is impossible for the two of them to reach a conclusion through negotiation. After all, the hero is not here. The country of water. Yèyuè Guāng, with a hat on his head, strolled along the official road of the state of water. No matter where you go, as long as you are in this country, you can smell a strong smell of blood. Walking along with the smell of blood, you will surely find the corpse of the missed shinobi ninja. Not only are the ninjas who are bound by the blood lineage, but also the ninja who can't stand the tyranny of Uchiha Obito. They are all on his hunt list. Crazy. Run to. Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but sigh when he saw the dead bodies of several missed shinobi ninjas on the side of the road. But in retrospect, this kind of person can actually be cleansed in the end. Have you considered the feelings of these innocent dead? By the way, Naruto is also a cow critic, killing his father and enemy, he forgives if he says forgive. Suddenly, Yèyuè Guāng raised his eyebrows. It has a strong smell of blood, stronger than any place I have visited before. A rough estimate, hundreds of people will die, right? Although because of the relationship between Runtu, the entire water country has been messed up, and Warren's corpses are everywhere. But it is still very rare for so many people to die at once. Follow the direction of the strong smell of blood. Yèyuè Guāng rushed to a small village near the sea. Advertisement. It's all dead. After entering the village, Yèyuè Guāng muttered to himself, looking at the corpses in one place. And hundreds of corpses were gathered in front of a small wooden house. It shows that these deceased gathered here because of some things during their lifetime, and they also held murder weapons such as kitchen knives and farm tools in their hands. Explain that they are likely to kill someone here. There is no weapon, what kind of ninjutsu? Yèyuè Guāng squatted down to check the corpses of these villagers. They were all pierced by a special kind of ninjutsu. Yèyuè Guāng reached out again to touch the wounds of the dead. A feeling of coldness followed. Is it him? Yèyuè Guāng stood up again, guessing in his heart, and thought to himself. The cold feeling is still there, it shouldn't go far. Close your eyes and search everything within dozens of miles with the pervert version of the pervert version enhanced by the color plus thunder fruit. After a while, Yèyuè Guāng opened his eyes and hurried to the east, found it. A young figure staggered on the bank of the river, a chill came, and looked up. Snowing. The small figure tried his last bit of strength and climbed under a big tree with his hands around his body, trying to warm himself up in this way. Dad, why did you want to kill mother, why? On the child's scruffy face, the facial features are extremely neat and beautiful, and the low hair makes bursts of crying and sobbing. Visually, he was only about 6 years old. Cuckoo. After a while, a hunger pangs from his abdomen interrupted his crying. If you are hungry, you can't even cry. The sudden sound made the child who still had tears on his face suddenly raised his head. Chapter 20 The wife of countless Doujin heroes, flowers broken 7,500 plus more. Inside a hotel in a small village in water country. In the dining room, a pair of peculiar combinations continue to attract the attention of past residents. A young man sat opposite another little beggar. The little beggar picked up the steamed buns and kept gobbled them into his mouth. Belch. It may be because of eating too quickly, the little beggar's complexion suddenly turned red, and he slapped his own moon. At this time, a glass of milk was handed over from the other side. Seeing this, the little beggar hurriedly took the milk. After drinking it, he let out a long sigh of relief, looked at the man sitting opposite with his cheek in one hand, and twisted in embarrassment. Thanks, thank you, Light, this is my name. Yèyuè Guāng did not give out his surname. But it wasn't that he was afraid of anyone in the country of water. It's because the purpose of his visit to water country this time is to gather Mist Shinobi's wool. It's better to keep it secret. Too ostentatious, it will only scare people away. If Uchiha Madara secretly controls Mist Shinobi, Yèyuè Guāng does have a 3-point guard. But Uchiha Runtu, then there is really no need to be afraid. After all, this product can bear the name of Uchiha Madara in the early stage, and pretend to be slanderous everywhere in the ninja world. Even Kage levels such as Nagato and Uchiha Itachi were flicked to death by him. It all depends on Kamui's bug level skill. Later Kamui's secret was cracked, and Kakashi directly beat him to vomit blood. Excluding Kamui, Obito's own strength barely touched the threshold of Kage level. During this period, the top of the sky is quasi-filming, and there is no need to be afraid. Quote. Bye. My name is Bye. After pursing his lips, Bye replied in a low voice. Quote. Let's take a shower, your body stinks. Yèyuè Guāng didn't show any surprises on his face. He could bring this kid, and he had already guessed the identity of the other person. Advertisement. Then, please don't keep looking at me like this, can you? In the misty bathhouse, Bai's face was flushed and ashamed with the towel tied around his waist. It's all males, what are you doing? Lousy almost thinks you are ABCH. Yèyuè Guāng stretched out his hand and tore off the towel around his white waist, twisted him and threw it into the pool. Woo. After fluttering in the bath for several times, Bai Kai barely floated up. Perceiving the sensation of light below, and noticing the gaze cast by Yèyuè Guāng, the feminine facial features are once again occupied by the bright blush. The climate in the country of water is too humid. Yèyuè Guāng immediately soaked in the pool, touching his face and muttering to himself. Light. Nissan, do you know me? Bai asked timidly. The attitude of the other party towards himself makes Bai always feel that he and the other party are not meeting for the first time. Forget it, after all, you were the wife of countless Hokage heroes. Yèyuè Guāng put the towel on his forehead, looked up at the ceiling and replied something that Ling Bai was completely confused. Yèyuè Guāng rolled his white eyes again. I can't help but think of some of the things I've seen in the previous life. Damn it. Obviously, Yèyuè Guāng was in a bathing pool with a temperature of nearly 50 degrees. The picture feels too strong. Are those male protagonists playing bayonet with Bai? Yèyuè Guāng shivered, then glanced again. It feels better than when Azina was a kid. Think about the protagonists of the Hokage and the humanities, those words really hardened. Your wife is bigger than you when she pulls it out. And Yèyuè Guāng paid attention 2 or 3 times, and Bai's head had already started to steam. I couldn't help but peek at each other. Okay, so scary. Advertisement. Don't ask is one of the plugins given by the dog author. When Yèyuè Guāng embarked on his journey in the water country again, there was already a small attendant behind him. Putting on a clean white dress and matching head-to-shoulder hair, it really looks like a lovely loli. Although it's actually a carry. Looking at the white in front of him, Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help touching his chin. Although he also thought about whether to cut off this kid's long hair. But after a few more considerations, he finally chose to give up. By the way, the original Naruto boy seems to have a good impression of Bai. Or when Konoha is taken down later, Shiro and Naruto are paired together. Tisk, think about it, is there anything wrong with stabs? Master Everbright, what's wrong? Noting that Yèyuè Guāng's eyes were a little weird, Bai couldn't help but ask. Nothing, let's go. Yèyuè Guāng raised his thumb and pointed towards the main road. Bai responded cautiously, since Runto secretly controlled Kurigakure and ordered to hunt down the blood following the ninja clan members. Everyone is at risk for the blood heirs of this water country. Other citizens are also afraid of joint crimes and dare not live with them. His mother hid the blood and marries as a farmer's father, but was discovered because of her awakening. As a result, his father summoned villagers to kill his mother, and he killed his father and slaughtered the village because of blood inheritance. This left an indelible psychological shadow in Bai's heart. What he fears most now is to be abandoned again. Chapter 21 Kill indiscriminately. Zon. Evaluation ticket breaks 1,000 plus more. Bai's following did not bring much convenience to Yèyuè Guāng's journey. He is not familiar with the country of water. If it were not for Yèyuè Guāng to tell his life experience, he hadn't even known that he was born in Mist Shinobi's Snow Clan. After all, he had just awakened to the limit. His mother was caught by his father. When his father brought the villagers to kill him, he was slaughtered by the violent Bing Dun. But after a period of action in the country of water, Yèyuè Guāng also inquired about a lot of information about the current water country and Kurigakure. Although it is still nearly 10 years since the beginning of the original plot. However, Uchiha Obito's massacre against the blood succession boundary family had already begun several years ago. Otherwise, Bai's mother would not escape Kurigakure and marry a farmer. By the way, at that time Obito was about 13 or 14 years old, right? So crazy. However, Rin Nohara was dead at that time, so consider the abnormal brain circuits of the Uchiha tribe. It is not surprising to be able to do such a thing. Right now, the Shui clan has existed in name only. Bai is probably the only last descendant of this clan that survived. The Ghost Lamp family and the Kagaya family, the two clans of Senju and Uchiha who used to be Konoha in Kurigakure. He was also expelled from Kurigakure 1 year ago. Hey, have you heard that? It is said that the Mist Shinobi army has begun to attack the habitat of the Ghost Lamp clan. In a small inn on the side of the road, a group of vendors gathered together and talked. Who do you think will win? Nonsense, of course it's Miss Shinobi. Anyway, you can attack one clan from one village, anyone who is not blind can see it. I think so, but is fourth Mizukage crazy? The Ghost Lantern family has been a famous Mist Shinobi since the Sengoku era, and the second Mizukage Ghost Lantern Wanyu is also from the Ghost Lantern family. That guy is completely crazy, no one can guess what he wants to do. The Snow Clan is gone, the Ghost Lamp is under attack, and Kagaya seems to be coming soon. However, the chattering vendors did not notice. Advertisement. Behind them, two figures, one large and one small, were sitting. After listening to the conversations of the vendors, the burly figure stood up first and walked out. And another small figure, who was estimated to be under 10 years old, quickly trot to follow. A few days later, the area near the sea in the south of the country of water. The battlefield between Kurigakure and the Ghost Lantern clan is here. Even though the hydration technique of the Ghost Lamp blood following the boundary can be immune to most physical attacks, it is just like the elementalization of Yèyuè Guāng. But how can a family with at most 1 or 200 combatants defeat Mist Shinobi, whose combat strength is in units of thousands? A humble village near the south blue coast of the water country is the habitat of the Ghost Lamp family after they were driven out of Kurigakure by fourth Mizukage Uchiha Runtu. The man who was once a prodigy ended up like this. Yèyuè Guāng crouched in front of a corpse in the small village of Kagaya, which had been completely wiped out, muttering to himself. A child prodigy who claims to be able to use the Mist Shinobi sword skillfully, Ghost Lantern Manmoon. However, his method of death was extremely miserable. Look at the wound, it should have been killed by the coral palm of Yugura. At this time, Bai also ran towards here quickly, reporting to Yèyuè Guāng Wei. Master Everbright, I just checked all the houses in the village, but there are no survivors. Really, just a trip for nothing. Yèyuè Guāng muttered to himself with some resentment, but then he gave a hearty smile and said. Hey, it's okay. If you are out of luck, wait for the next chance, sooner or later there will be some time to run. The sturdy and open folk customs of Cloud Shinobi Village has also radically changed the personality of Yèyuè Guāng, who was just an ordinary office worker with an introvert in his previous life. That kind of free and easy heroic spirit, just like the Whitebeard of Naruto World. The biggest difference should be that he is not interested in taking his son. My daughter's words, subconsciously remembered Hinata's puff face. Advertisement. No, the book is gone. Kill indiscriminately. Zon. It's Master Everbright, the starry-eyed worshipper shouted. Now Kurigakare's blood continues to limit the ninja clan. The Shui clan has survived in name only, and the Ghost Lantern clan has been destroyed. The only one with a face is the Teru Yoruichi clan. Needless to say, the Yoruichi clan. Grumpy can almost match Fourth Raikage. See that the Snow clan and the Ghost Lantern clan have been cleaned up one after another. They didn't bother to hide again, Lousy took the initiative to attack. However, the ending can be imagined. The number of their combatants is less than half that of the Ghost Lantern family. And because of the hematological diseases inherited from generation to generation, everyone is sick. In front of the Mist Shinobi army, which has an overwhelming numerical advantage. The successors of Dead Bone Pulse, who have part of the blood of Otsutsuki, seem so vulnerable. Coral Palm. The fourth Mizukage Yugura in its tailed animal form is like a bloody infrared coat on the body. A hard coral shell grew out of his right hand, and it rushed out instantly, breaking Patriarch Kagaya's bone knife, and piercing his body. 5 seconds later, Yugura, the beast-tailed citrus orange, suddenly pulled out the hand that penetrated the Patriarch Kagaya. Kagaya, the last big clan of Kurigakure, has also disappeared from the history of ninjas. However, at this time, Yugura suddenly found out. A small figure was running out of the battlefield. Asterisk. Chapter 22 Smart people communicate without words. Reward break 2000 plus more. Like Killer Bee and Wooden Golem, Yugura of Jinchuriki, the perfect Jinchuriki that can fully control the tail bee, kills the Ghost Lantern after the full moon. The tail beast coat on the surface of the body quickly faded, returning to its normal human form. Looking towards the direction where the little figure escaped, he said coldly. Chase. Several masked Mist Shinobi assassinated members heard the words, and neatly launched body flicker technique to catch up. Ha ha. In the rainforest, Kagaya Kimimaro didn't even know how long he had been running. Whenever he felt his legs were soft and unable to move. The scene of the tribe's death reappeared in front of him. The legs that had been sore and weakened again, and they ran forward continuously. Although he is 6 years old now, he has 3 years to practice chakra. But even if he is the best in a clan, he can never compare to a formal ninja. Soon, several Mist Shinobi assassination team members galloping on the branches chased up. The leader said coldly, I found a survivor of the Teru Yoruichi clan. Clear it now, another player on the right said. Immediately, the two of them left and right, and Jayan aimed at Shueyu, who was fleeing below. Water-style water dragon bomb technique. Lightning-style false darkness. Turning to see the water dragon in the air and the electric light chasing him from the ground. In front of Kimimaro's eyes, there was a life of wandering in the past, and a trace of relief was born in his heart, and he secretly said. Am I going to die here? Maybe. Not bad. Just when the two lightning styles were about to hit Shueyu, the final moment. Advertisement. Shulking Snake Hand. 30 million volts Thunderbird. One on the left and one on the right, several pythons with big mouths in blood basins, and a screaming electric bird flew out from different directions on both sides. Killed the two ninjutsu released Mizuna on the spot, and fell straight from the branch to the ground. What? Not only Kimimaro, who was about to be killed, but also several other members of the Mist Shinobi assassination unit, were frightened and dull. After a few seconds, everyone reacted and turned to look at Ishin, who was the source of ninjutsu just now. Two figures walked out from the left and the other in the rainforest. It's a coincidence, I didn't expect to see you again here, Guang-kun. I should have thought about it, after all, you are the world's leading human trafficker. When Kimimaro and others saw the true colors of these two figures, I found that beside them, there was also a small figure following. One boy and one girl. Two children. These two people are Konoha's S-rank rebel Orochimaru, and Cloud Shinobi's Yèyuè Guāng. A member of Mist Shinobi who had assassinated the troop surviving yelled. The sweat stains on the face of the other person behind the mask also fell like a waterfall. Here, what's going on? Why are two such dangerous characters appearing here? Hehe, it seems that we thought of going together, how about it? Let's solve the messy people first, your moves are too loud, let me come. Orochimaru laughed strangely. Yèyuè Guāng raised his right hand slightly, and gently lifted the tip of his index finger. Shoo, see. In the surrounding space, arcs can be seen from time to time. Puff, puff, puff. The next moment, when everyone did not react, the assassinations of several Mist Shinobi only felt a piercing pain in the body. Looking down, I saw several unidentified objects reflecting a little bit of starlight in the ground below their feet, piercing their bodies with pure black color and shaped like a long whip. However, no one saw the process of piercing them into their bodies. Advertisement. This is, what kind of technique? Several Mist Shinobi assassinated the team members. After leaving the last sentence in their lifetime, their bodies crooked. One after another, they fell from the branches and hit the ground heavily. Iron Sand, Third Raikage. However, Orochimaru saw it. During the Second Ninja World War, he also briefly encountered Third Raikage's Iron Sand technique. The reason why Third Raikage can be called the strongest wind shadow is also because of this technique. But, there should be no mistake in your own judgment. Yèyuè Guāng's Iron Sand is faster and more powerful. And after recovering the power, allowing the Iron Sand from the abyss to return to the earth, Yèyuè Guāng also cast his eyes to the silver-haired boy beside Orochimaru. The only survivor of the Ghost Lantern family, Ghost Lantern Shueyu. Sure enough, it was taken away by Orochimaru in advance. But for Shueyu, Yèyuè Guāng did not feel much regret. Unlike Kimimaro, this kid has no loyalty to Orochimaru at all. In all likelihood, just to avoid chasing and killing, he had to take refuge in Orochimaru. If you want to recruit him, you can at any time in the future. You should know what I want to do. Yèyuè Guāng twisted his neck and asked with a chuckle. Hehe. Orochimaru laughed strangely again, and left with Shueyu turned around. Communication between smart people often requires no words. Chapter 23. Do you really think you are strong? When Orochimaru and Shueyu left, only Yèyuè Guāng and two blood successors were left on the scene. Yèyuè Guāng turned to look at Kimimaro, half-emptied his eyes and said. At the last moment, did you really want to die? Kimimaro pursed her lips. There is no ecstasy on her immature facial features, and there is only confusion left between her brows. What is the purpose of being alive? I can't find the meaning of my existence. If there is no meaning of existence, then even if I am still alive, it is no different from death. Kimimaro looked puzzled, lowered his head and said in disarray. Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help turning over Byakugan. How can this kid be the same as Uchiha Itachi? Little Butt doesn't want to play with his nose, thinking about these messy things all day. However, the Yoruichi clan are paranoid fighting freaks, and Kimimaro was born in a state where the clan was suppressed by Yagura. According to the original information, in all likelihood, the parents also died prematurely due to hemorrhagic disease. Since childhood, he was trained as a humanoid weapon because of his talent. Under such circumstances, it is not surprising what the personality becomes. If you can't find it in a short period of time, try to find a way to survive first, and then look for it slowly. Yèyuè Guāng raised his head and said, living to achieve a certain goal of oneself, and living for someone, this is the meaning of living, no matter who it is, as long as he lives in this world, it is meaningful. Speaking of the back, Yèyuè Guāng smiled openly. Suddenly, Kimimaro's eyes were filled with bewilderment just now, and a ray of light was lit. As if looking at Yèyuè Guāng's gaze, he whispered. Live for someone. ... A few days later, in a destroyed town in the water country, Yèyuè Guāng called both Bai and Kimimaro and said. Advertisement. There is nothing to be done in the country of water, so tidy up and prepare to return to the country of thunder. The land of thunder. Kimimaro twisted his eyebrows suspiciously. Since his birth, let alone leaving the country of water, he has not even been out of the clan, let alone the existence of other countries. Are you going back? Why did the Everbright come to the country of water? Bai tilted his head and asked curiously. That is because. Yèyuè Guāng responded with a calm expression and just said 4 words. In an instant, Guang suddenly clenched his right hand into a fist, and the burst of lightning formed an irregular sword-shaped outline. A flick directly cut off Bai's body in the middle. Kimimaro was so scared that his eyes stared like copper bells, and he subconsciously shouted in exclamation. Master Everbright, why? But before he could finish his question, Kimimaro's eyes shrank again. The white corpse that was cut in half by the lightning did not spill a drop of blood until it fell to the ground in half. However, it kept squirming like a caterpillar in just a few seconds. It turned into a mass of pure white body, with a strange man with only the left half of his face. I didn't expect that someone could see through my transformation technique. You shouldn't have abilities like Uzumaki's mind and I or Uchiha's pupil technique. White Zetsu, whose body was divided into 2 by Yèyuè Guāng, raised his head and looked up at Yèyuè Guāng and asked. First, Bai will not ask me the reason for doing things. He will follow the order unconditionally. You are too eager to get information, idiot. Yèyuè Guāng stepped on White Zetsu's plasticine face with disdain, and as lightning rose again, he said. Second, do you think your kidnapping of him can escape my perception? Boom. In the next instant, a violent thunder light accompanied by a deafening explosion, ran through the distance of several miles. The whole village was razed to the ground. Advertisement. On the ground turned into a piece of coke, there are only 4 figures left. Yèyuè Guāng and Kimimaro stood in the center. On the opposite side, a man in a black robe and gloves was standing behind Bai's right hand, pinching Bai's throat. What I wear on my face is not the iconic orange spiral mask of the future, but another mask that is full of orange and yellow and printed with black stripes like tadpoles. The only eye exposed on the right side of the mask is enough for Yèyuè Guāng to guess the identity of the other party. Uchiha run. Obito. Release. In the face of this scene, Yèyuè Guāng's expression remained unchanged, only 2 words calmly spit out from his mouth. The strongest ninja in the Thunder Country, the second in command of Cloud Shinobi Village, what are you doing here? Is it just to bring a few blood inheritance imps? Uchiha Obito focused chakra on his throat to change the tone of Uchiha Madara's voice. The entire water country is under the surveillance of Akatsuki, or Absolute. Including Yèyuè Guāng and Orochimaru who have been in action for many days. Orochimaru and Obito have the idea of soliciting. After all, the opponent is Konoha's S-rank rebel, which meets the entry standards of Akatsuki members. But Yèyuè Guāng is more troublesome. Although I don't want to be out of the question at the moment. But I also worried that the other party had leaked Kurigaku's information. After all, Akatsuki is still in the developing stage and does not want to attract unnecessary attention from the big powers. Release. I never repeat my words a third time. Yèyuè Guāng didn't even mean to answer Uchiha Obito's question, his eyes grew colder. Don't be too arrogant, Yèyuè Guāng. Seeing the other party repeatedly ignoring his own problems, Obito, who has increasingly brought himself into the role of Uchiha Madara, since he became black, also began to have a bad tone. Arrogant. Who are you talking about? Yèyuè Guāng mocked and said. Do you really think you are strong? Chapter 24 attracted unexpected visitors. Do you really think you are strong? The moment the voice fell, Obito only feels that the surrounding space has been filled with the magnetic force of the current. Over the years, he has flicked first-class powerhouses like Nagato, Hoshigaki Kisame, etc., so that he has cultivated a strong sense of crisis prediction. Kamui Hollow was used almost instinctively. It was at this moment of hollow. Wow, wow, wow. Countless slender black swords with needles drilled out of the ground under their feet, almost sticking to the white body with a gap of less than 1 millimeter, and pierced Obito into a hedgehog. White, run. Facing Yèyuè Guāng's reminder, Bai did not doubt that there was him, and rushed out with all his strength. At the moment he took a step, he was surprised to find that the masked man was pinching his hand. When he ran a step, he penetrated as if it didn't exist. However, at the moment, I have no time to think about these issues. Hurried to the side of Yèyuè Guāng, feeling guilty. Hug. Sorry, Lord Everbright. It's okay, the moves of those 2 guys are quite awkward. I'm afraid that few people in the entire ninja realm can handle it perfectly, let alone you. Yèyuè Guāng smiled lightly. The guilt on the white face did not fade at all, thinking that this was just a lie that Everbright had told him to comfort himself. The color of worship in the eyes is even more 3-pointed. Uchiha Obito, who was on the opposite side, also withdrew from 2 later. It's like a gas without a body. The sword of iron sand, which can cut steel like paper, did not cause any harm to him. Do you know the secret of my ability? Just now, his hand was still pinched on that little devil's throat. In this situation, Yèyuè Guāng could accurately order the kid to escape. Obviously, I have seen through Kamui's principle. Advertisement. His strongest hole card is seen through. How can Uchiha Obito keep calm? Although he was wearing a mask, his tone was enough to imagine how ugly Obito's face behind the mask was at this time. Yèyuè Guāng laughed mockingly. Why? The principle of the move is seen through and it hurts you so much. Sure enough, if you leave this move, you will be nothing. Then do you want me to guess who you are? Sharingan in the right eye gives me a unique feeling. It feels a bit similar to a certain white hair I fought in the Third Ninja War. Could it be? Yèyuè Guāng squinted his eyes, irritating Uchiha Obito with analysis with a smile. To shut up. As if being stuck in a painful spot, Uchiha Obito couldn't maintain the big boo style that he usually pretends in front of Nagato, Hoshigaki Kisame and others. On the contrary, it is like a childish kid who has been exposed to the dark history, and is incompetent and furious, with the fire style seal on both hands. Fire style Storm Flurry. The moment when fire style is released, Kamui is used to twist the space to expand the scope to the limit. It looks pretty cool, but it's actually just a larger range of chicken ribs fire style. Yèyuè Guāng made a look of contempt by the king. That's why I said that if you don't have space for ninjutsu, you are nothing. The gun of 2 million volts thunder. Yèyuè Guāng shook his right hand, and the arc flashed. A thunderous javelin has been held in the palm of his hand. Puff puff boom. When the thunder spear thrown by Yèyuè Guāng hit the wall of fire in the storm, it seemed like a bullet fired, and it penetrated the opponent without receiving any obstacles, rushing towards Uchiha Obito in diameter. 1 second later, the shocking thunder column rushed straight into the sky, as if to pierce the sky through a hole. Miles away, a beautiful woman with waist-length burgundy hair, gorgeous facial features, and a slender figure that does not lose to Samui, stared blankly at the thunder pillar in the distance. Until an hour ago, she was hunted down by the Mist Shinobi assassination unit. I didn't expect to see such an amazing scenery as soon as he escaped. Advertisement. Dead. After the lightning pillar disappeared, Kimimaro hesitated to guess after looking at a pit with a diameter of 100 meters and a depth of more than a few meters left by the place where Lei Chang fell. I ran, but presumably he won't bother me again in a short time. Yèyuè Guāng collects electricity in Kaido. Why, Master Everbright? Bai turned his head and said. The trick Kamui was his deceitful whole card. I exposed the principle of that trick. It was enough for him to be scared for several years. After all, that guy's skill is only that level. Yèyuè Guāng disdained to smile. Really want to expand, Uchiha Obito is afraid that even Nagato can't beat it. It's completely relying on deception to make the other party fool around. 3 years ago, if it weren't for Namikaze Minato, he couldn't understand Kamui's principle. I'm afraid I've slapped Uchiha Obito on the ground long ago. But I have to admit that this skill of Kamui is really powerful, even Bug. Run-2 wanted to escape once he was determined. I am afraid that the 6 paths level may not be able to stop it. This is, you guys did it. A young woman's voice suddenly entered the ears of the 3 of them. There is another enemy. Kimimaro and Bai looked suddenly changed at the same time. Jumping in front of Yèyuè Guāng, one pulled out a bone knife from his shoulder, while the other condensed a cone of ice. Bang, bang. In the next second, Yèyuè Guāng rewarded these 2 boys with a thump, and said speechlessly. What, you still want to protect me? Chapter 25. How can you sue me? Kimimaro and Shiro, whose brains were beaten separately, couldn't help showing embarrassment. Just now the brain did not think, the body acted first. In retrospect, during the time in the water country, they also encountered a number of assassination troops sent by Yagura, who searched for the blood ninja. Yèyuè Guāng is all protecting them. You two are the descendants of the Kagaya and Snow clan. But not both of these clan already. When I saw Kimimaro pull out the bone knife and Shirakiju condense the ninjutsu of the ice cone, the big eyes of the woman's burgundy hair were filled with incredible surprises. The reason why she escaped from Kurigaka regardless of the consequences was that she had heard of the successive demise of the 2 clans. Even the Ghost Lantern was tragically annihilated some time ago. The status of these 3 clans in Mist Shinobi is comparable to Konoha's Senju, Uchiha, and Hyuga. The destruction of the 3 clans also made Kurigaka and even the entire water country realize. Fourth Mizukage really wants to erase Mist Shinobi's blood inheritance family from the history of ninjas. However, today she actually saw children who can use Dead Bone Pulse and Bing Dun. And the man who led them. In the Third Ninja War, Cloud Shinobi did not fight against Mist Shinobi. So Yèyuè Guāng and the other party also met for the first time. Although the image is still a bit surprised 10 years later. But Yèyuè Guāng still recognized the identity of the other party at a glance. The future 5th Mizukage Terumi Mei. Yèyuè Guāng patted his forehead without knowing it. Before I came, I paid my attention to the little ghosts like Bai and Kimimaro. All for Kurigaka's strongest blood ninja is Terumi Mei. Are you, the one who is rumored to be the strong lightning style ninja in the ninja world? Terumi Mei hesitated to guess. Although she also participated in the Third Ninja World War. Advertisement. But Mist Shinobi has only played against Konaha. The name of Yèyuè Guāng is also limited to rumors. Before Terumi Mei finished speaking, Yèyuè Guāng's eyelids suddenly twitched and said. There are a lot of women coming over here. Want to come too? The rage gun made such a big movement just now. No one else, Mist Shinobi's ninjas are afraid that they are either blind or deaf. After getting rid of the search by Gurnen, Yèyuè Guāng put on Cloud Shinobi's forehead protector again, which is considered to be an official identity to Kimimaro and Bai. But in fact, it doesn't matter, they have decided to follow this man who illuminates the darkness in their hearts. Sure enough, it's you. Terumi Mei sighed in a low voice. The strongest lightning-style ninja in the ninja world. Recalling the name Yèyuè Guāng, Terumi Mei's mind came up with the skyrocketing thunder pillar that she had just seen. I feel that I can completely remove the last 4 characters and change my nickname directly to Ninja World's Strongest. Noting that Terumi Mei, who followed the 3 of her own as a ghost, Yèyuè Guāng perfectly concealed the arc of the horn. Pretending to be puzzled and asked, "Why follow me?" Me. Terumi Mei didn't know how to respond for a while. She also has the bloodline of the blood succession boundary, and she is also an extremely rare double blood succession, so she was naturally chased and killed by Fourth Mizukage. She herself didn't know where to go right now. Jianbai and Kimimaro, 2 little guys who were also carrying blood and bound to follow Yèyuè Guāng's leather thighs. Subconsciously followed all the way. Advertisement. We are going back to the land of thunder. If it's okay, we will separate here. Yèyuè Guāng waved his hand with a disgusting expression of, go, don't bother me. Terumi Mei's face flushed with anger. What does it mean? You are such a big beauty, do you just watch me waiting to die here? Out of anger, Terumi Mei also suddenly noticed the mystery in Yèyuè Guāng's words just now, pointed to Kimimaro and Bai and asked. Are you going to take them to the Kingdom of Thunder? So what? You can still go to you Master Mizukage and sue me. Yèyuè Guāng seems to be the overbearing school of molesting class Wa. Terumi Mei's face suddenly turned blue and white. In her opinion, these 2 remaining heirs of Dead Bone Pulse and Bing Dun are immeasurable wealth for Kurigakure. But now Yèyuè Guāng wants to take them away. There is no doubt that it is to remove another arm from the dying Mist Shinobi. When Kimimaro and Bai get married in Cloud Shinobi in the future, these 2 blood inheritance boundaries will always become Cloud Shinobi's possessions. No, you can't take them away. Suddenly, Terumi Mei changed her previous attitude and shouted to Yèyuè Guāng in a fighting posture. With a smile on her eyes, she looked at this woman who was completely different from the marriage-mad Mizukage in the impression, innocent and even a little naive. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and said, "What do you want to do? These 2 children are our Kurigakure's future. I will never allow you to take them away." Terumi Mei sternly scolded, her shadow flashed, and she rushed towards Yèyuè Guāng as she closed the seal. However, as if the picture was replayed, the 2 immature figures raised the bone knives and the ice blade again, blocking them in front of Terumi Mei. Chapter 26 Make Cloud Shinobi Great Again, Flowers Break Wanjia More. Terumi Mei, who almost released ninjutsu, abruptly stopped Jayan's movements at the last minute. Seeing Shiro and Kimimaro staring hostilely at him with a bone knife and ice blade. Unspeakable bitterness in my heart. They should be a member of Mist Shinobi in the same camp as themselves. He who wins the hearts of the people wins the world. Yèyuè Guāng raised his horns slightly, and uttered a truth that has never changed in any world. Although he hates Sarutobi Hiruzen's old Yinbi. But I also have to admit that the old fox is really no one in the ninja realm in terms of winning people's hearts. Whether it is Namikaze Minato, Kakashi, or Naruto. Either he was scammed to take his own life, or Lousy was killed, and he was so stupid to sell his life for the other party. Seeing that Terumi Mei had no intention of doing anything, Shiro and Kimimaro slowly lowered their weapons. But the guard in his eyes still didn't relax at all. Come together. Suddenly, Yèyuè Guāng stretched out his hand to invite. Terumi Mei, who was immersed in sorrow, was suddenly awakened by Yèyuè Guāng's question, and looked at each other incredulously. 2 seconds later, he raised his jade finger and pointed at his incredible face. Kurigakure is no longer saved, do you still want to stay here and face the endless pursuit? Yèyuè Guāng asked Huyu. In the original work, there are few descriptions of the Mist Shinobi period. However, from the beginning of the original plot, it is speculated that Nostalgia is still planning to overthrow Fourth Mizukage's rule. Uchiha Obito's bloody reign of Mist Shinobi lasted until the beginning of the plot. I'm afraid that until Akatsuki officially started the Tail Beast capture plan, it was almost the time period that the storm passed. Terumi Mei regained Kurigakure, and it's not quite right to say, recapture. After all, Akatsuki had already developed at that time. There is no need for the secret base of Kurigakure. Advertisement. I didn't bother to fight with Mist Shinobi's people, so I just abandoned it. In other words, Terumi Mei almost won. Impossible. I will never give up the village. Terumi Mei clenched her pink fist tightly, and Baifeng insisted on her red lips. It's fierce but fierce. Faced with Yagura, who controls most of Mist Shinobi's combat power and can perfectly control the power of the Tail Beast, what chance do you think you have? Yèyuè Guāng raised this question. Terumi Mei, who was still pouting and stubborn, instantly slammed down like a kitten with its tail trampled on. Cooperate. When Konaha takes it down, I will help you get Mist Shinobi back. Yèyuè Guāng smiled. Terumi Mei opened her mouth, shocked and speechless. Take down Konaha. Is this what this man wants? Although the country of water is currently in a state of isolation, it is extremely difficult to obtain information from the outside world. However, she has heard of the death of Fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato and the defect of Orochimaru, one of Sannin. Konaha has fallen into an unprecedented period of decline. Then, when shall I wait? Terumi Mei asked tightly. When she asked this sentence, Yèyuè Guāng knew that she had been shaken. Well, I'm afraid it will take about 10 years. After all, I want to wait until Konaha's weakest period to do it. Yèyuè Guāng pretended to think Kaido. But it really has to wait until that period. Runto has almost abandoned Kurigakure. The original Mist Shinobi was almost back on track at that time. But it doesn't matter, Terumi Mei is not a traverser, no matter how much Yèyuè Guāng fools around, she doesn't know the truth. 10 years. Terumi Mei lowered her head and muttered these two words silently. After a while, determination appeared in her eyes, and she resolutely said. Okay, you must abide by the agreement. Unlike Sarutobi Hiruzen, what I say will definitely be done. Advertisement. When the words fell, Yèyuè Guāng stretched out his fist towards Terumi Mei. Terumi Mei tilted her head and expressed puzzlement. The custom of our Cloud Shinobi Village, as long as you fight against each other, it means that you can push your heart to your heart. Yèyuè Guāng showed a hearty smile. Put your heart down. Terumi Mei's heart rippled, and then she squeezed her pink fist tightly and touched Yèyuè Guāng lightly. ... Konaha is at the end of 51 years. The three strongest blood family of Mist Shinobi. Snow, Ghost Lights, and Kagaya all went out one after another. This also made the name of Mist Shinobi, Blood Mist Nori, thoroughly resounded through the ninja world. Everyone thinks fourth Mizukage Yugura is crazy. Kurigakure's interior was also chaotic because of killing so many ninjas in the same village. Many shinobu villages even discussed whether to attack Kurigakure while Kurigakure was in chaos. But in the end, all shinobu villages gave up this idea. The Third Ninja World War had just ended, and most people didn't feel relieved. In addition, the country of water is an island country across the sea from the ninja continent. Attacking is too time-consuming and laborious. This is also the reason why no shinobu took the initiative to attack the water country in 3 consecutive wars. Oh, there is another country that has not been actively attacked. The country of wind. The reason is simpler, too poor, and poor others don't bother to fight it. Anyway, you can't get any oil or water. No one knows that the tragic Mist Shinobi Sanin tribe, the only survivors of the 2 tribes, flowed into Cloud Shinobi. Yèyuè Guāng's Make Cloud Shinobi Great Again project was officially launched. Chapter 27. Every village has a dark side, reward break 3000 plus more. Cloud Shinobi Village. When Yèyuè Guāng came back, it was 52 years of the new year. Don't you think you should explain it? Raikage's office. I heard that Yèyuè Guāng is back. Samui, who led Hinata to greet him, changed his face as soon as he entered the door. To be precise, he saw Terumi Mei behind Yèyuè Guāng. The old rival Mabui's business is not over yet, but there is another one. Looking at Terumi Mei's gorgeous facial features and the invisible temperament of the natural brow bones that I don't possess. Samui has to admit that her status in Cloud Shinobi Village has been challenged. Look at the level of the tank again. Good guy, it's about the same as yourself. But after careful comparison, you should still be better. But the advantage should not exceed 3 centimeters. In the face of Sam Yi's momentum of catching R******, I feel that even Fourth Raikage's momentum is a bit weaker. Explanation. Don't you know, I'm going to do business. Yèyuè Guāng's eyes stared like brass bells, looking straight into the eyes of his lover. Laozi didn't do anything wrong, what was she afraid of? The successor of Kagaya Dead Bone Pulse, Kagaya Kimimaro. The Snow Clan is white with ice escape. Yèyuè Guāng held the clingy Hinata in his arms and introduced to the crowd. Also, the future Miss Fifth Mizukage Terumi Mei, with a double blood limit. Terumi Mei, who was uncomfortably stared at by Sammy's cold eyes, took the initiative to take a step. I have established a cooperative relationship with Master Yèyuè Guāng. During my stay in your village, I acted according to the instructions of Master Raikage and Master Everbright, provided that it cannot be an act that endangers the country of water. After helping your village successfully win Konaha, I hope you can also abide by the agreement and help me send troops to defeat Yugura, so that Mist Shinobi can get back on track. In Terumi Mei's view, cooperating with Cloud Shinobi is also a risky move. If I helped each other, Yèyuè Guāng and others regretted it afterwards. Advertisement. She can't do anything about it. But she has no other choice. The future. Fifth Mizukage. Hearing this, Fourth Raikage's eyes lit up instantly. This guy said that he planned to train that Byakugan girl into a 5th Hokage. Did you make another Mizukage this time? But Terumi Mei is not young, so I'm afraid it won't be as easy to control as Hinata. After Fourth Raikage rolled his eyes, he stood up and shouted. Well, I swear by Raikage, I will never abandon my promise. Mabuyi, take Mizukage to the residence and arrange the best accommodation. Fourth Raikage shouted at Mabuyi again. Yes. After Azabu responded, she walked to Terumi Mei's side and said. Master Mizukage, please follow me. Trouble. Terumi Mei nodded, and sighed inwardly. Is there no way out? Sorry. While walking by Yèyuè Guāng with Terumi Mei, Mabuyi whispered 3 words. When Yèyuè Guāng looked at her suspiciously, the other party had already walked out of the office door. Sorry. Sorry what? Samui, can you take these 2 boys to the orphanage where the war orphans live? By the way, help them go through the admission procedures for the ninja school. Fourth Raikage said to Sam again. Sammy nodded silently and coldly raised his thumb to signal Kimimaro and Bai to follow him out. While walking by Yèyuè Guāng and taking Hinata away, he also gave Yèyuè Guāng a fierce look. Advertisement. I almost didn't write the words, you wait for my old lady, on his face. Yèyuè Guāng turned Byakugan inwardly, thinking that he seemed to have to sleep alone tonight. When only Yèyuè Guāng, Fourth Raikage, and Tudai were left in the office. Fourth Raikage asked again, Hikari, that Kurigakure woman, what do you think? What do you think? Yèyuè Guāng raised his brows and asked. Are you really planning to help her regain Miss Shinobi? It feels like it's just for a temporary help from Jonin. We will spend so many people helping her attack a big village. It's not worthwhile, Lord Everbright. Soil platform interface. I think we should get rid of her after using her. Although Cloud Shinobi does not have the political darkness of Konoha, don't think that the people in this village are all foolish. Yes, the folk style of Cloud Shinobi is indeed straightforward, but it is only limited to its own people. Once faced with the enemy, it's not how ruthless it is. As for swearing in the name of Raikage, just listen. As long as the goal can be achieved, it doesn't matter no matter how abused. Terumi Mei is currently the strength of the Jonin elite. How much help can Cloud Shinobi bring to Cloud Shinobi even if it has a double blood limit? Just for such a small gain, a large amount of military power must be sent to help her attack Cloud Shinobi. I don't think it's worth it. Therefore, the meaning of Fourth Raikage and Tutai is very dark, but also very realistic. After using Terumi Mei, immediately eradicate it. Or to put it more directly, kill her. No Shinobu village is a white lotus, and any village has a dark side. Chapter 28. Are you a Raikage or AP***P? After Fourth Raikage and Tutai made this proposal, Yèyuè Guāng also fell into a rare silence. This suggestion is really dark, even pervert. But from the perspective of Cloud Shinobi, there is nothing wrong with their thinking. If you want to launch a war against a ninja village, at least you can have a ninja army with more than 1,000 combat power. Among them, the number of ninjas who may die is at least in units of hundreds. At such a high price, it was only possible to get help from Terumi Mei for a period of time. Lost a lot, okay. Not to mention that Terumi Mei currently only has the strength of the Jonin elite, even if she reaches cage level. It has no value. But Yèyuè Guāng can't tell Fourth Raikage and Tutai, in 10 years, Runtu will take the initiative to abandon Kurigakure. You don't need to send troops at all. There is no need to send any soldiers. Don't ask me how I knew it. Ask because I crossed over. Quote. Dammit really wanted to say that, they didn't think they were sick. After about half a minute of silence, Yèyuè Guāng spoke slowly. She will not repay virtue with complaints. Terumi Mei is a trustworthy person. As long as she can be promoted to the position of 5th Mizukage, she can establish a solid alliance with Cloud Shinobi for at least decades. I think this is a good deal. Quote. Yèyuè Guāng didn't lie either. Terumi Mei is indeed one of the few people in the original book who has a fair and honest style. Fourth Raikage exchanged glances with Tutai. Obviously, they didn't quite agree with Yèyuè Guāng's statement. After all, the reasons given by Yèyuè Guāng this time were really not very convincing. How do you know she is trustworthy? How long have you known her? Calculate the period of time when you go to the country of water and come back, it's less than a month, right? What if Terumi Mei takes back Miss Shinobi and she turns her face and doesn't recognize anyone? Advertisement. Wasn't Cloud Shinobi dying? That, Master Everbright, you are not after her, are you? Tutai asked cautiously and tentatively. Clam. Yèyuè Guāng's eyebrows crooked, indicating that your topic has skipped too much, right? Why is it that I am attracted to her? You are not the kind of reckless person who acts on the basis of momentary feelings. Except for the female ninja Miss Shinobi that you see, I really can't think of why you did it. Tutai said suspiciously. Quote. Climb for the Lord. Yèyuè Guāng's face became dark, and he let out a foul language. He admitted that Terumi Mei is indeed a great beauty. If he has no thoughts at all, then I am sorry for the 2 or 2 below, no, 5 or 2. But this time dammit Lousy is really thinking about the problem in the interests of Cloud Shinobi. As a result, in your opinion, it becomes thinking with the lower body. However, I think this is also a good way. Fourth Raikage interjected suddenly, touching the beard of his chin and pondering. Light, how about you take that woman down while she is in our village, and it's better to get 2 cubs. Then, it's impossible for her to betray, right? Yèyuè Guāng, are you Raikage or P***P? After being speechless for a long time, Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but jump out such a sentence. Previously, he used hemp cloth as a bed and forced himself to be a Raikage. Now I let myself go soaking in Terumi Mei so that she can be tied to the boat Cloud Shinobi. Yèyuè Guāng said that your TM personality will also collapse. Advertisement. Why do you keep doing this kind of pimping thing? No, Everbright, my subordinates also think this is a good way. After all, if 2 people are together, and if there are even children, the wife still has to worry about betraying her husband and children. Soil platform interface road. Quote. You are really G geniuses. Yèyuè Guāng didn't want to continue to linger with these 2 goods, got up and walked out of the door while turning his back to the 2 people. In short, this matter is my sole responsibility. Please don't intervene, let alone deal with Terumi Mei casually. Bang. After the door was closed severely, Fourth Raikage picked up Bai and Kimimaro's basic information to check, and joked. Haha, but it's no wonder that kid gets angry. After all, Mabuyi's business is not over yet, here's another one. Hehe, maybe even that little Byakugan girl was among them in the end. Tutai smiled and said. Fourth Raikage's eyes froze for an instant, and he hesitated. This, impossible, right? The more he got to the back, the more uncertain he became. However, When Yèyuè Guāng left the Raikage building, he suddenly noticed a strange feeling and raised his eyes to look towards the roof. With pervert-level sights and smells enough to cover the entire village, he locked in that breath. Follow all the way to the highest hotel room in the village. After figuring out the true source of that breath, Yèyuè Guāng withdrew his gaze and walked towards home. In the hotel room, Terumi Mei, who had just been settled here by Azabui, couldn't help but ripples in her heart. Chapter 29. Why didn't you give her the key? Oh Duo-sang. Well, teacher, I'm going to practice, and I'll be back soon. The next second Hinata called out the title that accidentally caused the book to be killed by the river crab god Tyr. I quickly remembered the name problem that Yèyuè Guāng had repeatedly asked before, and quickly changed the name. Although she is still very unaccustomed to it. After beckoning to Yèyuè Guāng and Samui, Hinata ran towards the cloud canyon of the training ground. Seeing this, Yèyuè Guāng suddenly smiled with satisfaction, and cast a look at the hidden Anbu personnel. Although it is less than 2 months after the age of 3, he is still a small celebrity in Cloud Shinobi Village. Coupled with the secret protection of Anbu players, nothing can happen. After you grow up to 3 years old, you can start to practice chakra, and finally you can usher in the long-lost and short-lived two-person world. Entering the house again, he found that Samui was beating his shoulder. It seems to have finally rushed to the G level recently. The mantra of sore shoulders in the original book gradually began to linger. Yèyuè Guāng walked over calmly, and then lifted. Yeah, what are you doing? Even if it was Samui, he couldn't help but be taken aback, and stared at Yèyuè Guāng with a big face. Aren't you too heavy? Hold it for you. Halfway through, Yèyuè Guāng leaned into the ear of the other party again and whispered. Baby, it's almost a month. Samui's white face was slightly red, but then he remembered about Mabuyi and Samui, thinking that he couldn't keep this guy proud. Go away. Go to Mabuyi and the Mist Shinobi woman. Is it okay? Yèyuè Guāng looked surprised. You. Sammy's eyes widened. This B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Advertisement. Well, just as Samui was building up the not-rich curse vocabulary in his mind, he was about to breathe fragrance to Yèyuè Guāng. Shang has been blocked quickly. Then, after resisting for 5 seconds, there is no action. Instead, I close my eyes. Comrade, your will is not firm enough. Thinking of a woman with a seemingly cold personality, it is often unexpectedly high for the man. But there is a problem, that is, Yèyuè Guāng keeps moving on his own every time. She lay down, and the only thing that moved was the vocal look. Yèyuè Guāng said that this was too much, and it was her own efforts. Calculated the training time of Hinata. Estimated that about 2 hours later, Yèyuè Guāng ran Samui into the pool. Wow, after the two entered, at least half of the water poured out. Call. Sam let out a few low snorts from time to time. It is in extreme contrast with the coldness of Terumi Mei in the office. Just when Yèyuè Guāng was about to check whether there was AG and whether it had reached the level of Boa Hancock's combat power. Suddenly Sam Yi slapped the pig's hoof. What are you doing? Yèyuè Guāng expressed his grievances and turned his face in denial after the end, which was too much. Shivering and cold, the angry person was trembling, and his hands and feet were cold in a cold sweat on a hot day. Can this ninja world be better? How can a boy live in order to satisfy you? Tears are streaming down. When can a man really stand up? What's the matter with that Miss Shinobi woman? Sam Yi half turned his head and asked coldly. Advertisement. You don't always say that ninjas should be cooler. This kind of complaint-like problem doesn't fit your personality. Yèyuè Guāng muttered inwardly, but this can only be said in my heart. If he really said it at this time, he and his second brother would not be able to get out of the bathroom today. It is said that she is the ninja who inherited the blood inheritance limit. Like the two boys, it is the tool I got from Miss Shinobi to supplement our Cloud Shinobi combat power. Yèyuè Guāng said that Laozi-kun is magnanimous, and there is nothing to do with Terumi Mei, afraid of you. As for the future, I will talk about it later. What about the bet with Raikage-sama? Mabuyi is going to be yours, happy. Samui asked again. That was suggested by the old shame I am the victim, okay. Yèyuè Guāng said with awe-inspiring justice. But there is no rejection. Alas, the main reason is that I am afraid that Mabuyi will be sad. Sam Yi squinted his eyes, thinking for a long time but couldn't think of words to curse. To be honest, eloquence really can't beat this B*********** D anyway. In the Sengoku era, is it true that women had Shiya sand? Anyway, it's a pity that it's gone now, otherwise I would look at those women every time I saw them. As long as it is gone, Yèyuè Guāng definitely did it. Bang, bang, the knock on the door suddenly sounded. Hinata's tender and tired voice came through the door panel. Teacher, Sister Samui, I'm back, open the door. Hinata doesn't have a key. Yèyuè Guāng and Sam quickly crawled out of the pool after hearing the sound. Otherwise, why do you think you didn't give her the key? Chapter 30 Big Mom take a look. At the end of Konoha's 52 years. During this period in the original book, Cloud Shinobi should have obtained Hyuga Hazashi's body. But because Hyuga Hazashi is a branch house, Byakugan has been destroyed by Caged Bird. In fact, Cloud Shinobi was nothing but a bamboo basket. But because of Yèyuè Guāng, Cloud Shinobi not only got Hyuga Hinata, the purest Byakugan princess. 3 heirs of the blood succession boundary were found. On the playground of Cloud Shinobi Ninja School, Ice Done Ice Mist technique. With the release of Baijayan, the huge playground was completely enveloped in white mist. At the same time, it was accompanied by a chilling chill. Okay, it's so cold. Is that the limit of her blood succession? Well, it's terrible, obviously people are so cute. Idiot, Bai is a man. Nani. The children of the same age who were watching from the outside hugged their arms tightly, and while their noses were frozen, they exclaimed with emotion. Tsubaki dance. Just as Bingwu was about to wrap the entire playground in it. Vaguely, you can see a legend of a fast shadow in the fog. Like a flying swallow in a high-speed dive, although it is impossible to compare with Yèyuè Guāng or Fourth Raikage. But among people of the same age, no one can match it. Even when he was invisible, he didn't mean to be soft when he shot. Shuttle through the ice mist at an extremely fast speed, wave the bone knife in his hand, and launch an all-round attack on every corner that is not left behind. About 5 seconds later, there was a crisp sound of a collision of weapons. Everyone stared at the center again. The ice mist gradually spread. Kimimaro and White in the middle, respectively collided and confronted with the bone knife and the ice blade. Advertisement. It has been nearly a year since they were picked up by Yèyuè Guāng from Kurigakure. The two have gradually integrated into the atmosphere of the new village. Wonderful. The reason why they should have grown up in the cruel blood fog since childhood has caused them to grow faster than those of the same age who grew up in a peaceful environment. In the top floor of the teaching building, the earth platform who had witnessed this scene through the window retracted his gaze, turned to the house and said again. Master Everbright really picked up a treasure this time. That kid who uses bones, my uncle is very pleased. I can learn from my uncle's 8-sword style, oh yeah. Killer Bee gestured to tidy up, looking brightly at Kimimaro who kept poking bones out of her body. That kind of combat method where bones like knives can emerge anywhere in the body, let him see the shadow of fighting with 8 knives by himself. Very pleased. It is different from Konoha's way of sending a guide Jonin to lead the 3 graduated Genins. Cloud Shinobi's graduation, Genin will not form a team. A Jonin can bring only 1 disciple, or even more than 3 disciples. Kimimaro's physical condition is worrying. After all, the Kagaya family is well known in the world of hemorrhagic disease. It is a miracle for the ninjas of their family to live past 20 years, and it is time to burn high incense if they live to 30. Yèyuè Guāng on the sofa tilted Erlang's legs and glanced at Kimimaro on the playground. If he is Orochimaru's subordinate like the original, then Yèyuè Guāng doesn't bother to care about his life or death. But now that he is his own, Yèyuè Guāng will naturally find a way to extend his life. Lao Ba, do you have any idea? Yèyuè Guāng cast his eyes to Killer Bee. Killer Bee's action was stagnant, and when she spoke again, her voice had changed to 8 tails, speechless. You guy, don't call me old 8, it feels weird. Obviously, this is the temporary exchange of control of the body between 8 tails and Killer Bee. Naruto, who was able to perfectly control 9 tails later in the original, also used this trick. But Yèyuè Guāng has an interesting idea. When Uzumaki Kushina was in Jinchuriki, if she did that with Namikaze Minato, suddenly exchanged control of the body with 9 tails. Doesn't that mean that Namikaze Minato gave 9 tails to Emperor Wei Wen? Cough. Advertisement. Go away with unhealthy content. Be careful to return this chapter to be blocked. Kui Yoruichi, to be honest, there are some blood of that woman, but unfortunately I can't help it. 8 tails borrowed Killer Bee's body and said to Yèyuè Guāng. Tisk, the broken octopus that dropped the chain at a critical moment. Yèyuè Guāng curled his lips, and angry 8 tails wanted to have a fight with this bee ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************�e. Scared Killer Bee hurriedly exchanged control of his body. Why don't you send this kid a few wives sooner, and give birth to more babies before the onset of hemorrhagic disease? Fourth Raikage yelled. Yèyuè Guāng squinted and said speechlessly. Can't you think of anything other than children? By the way, when he first brought Terumi Mei back, he made this proposal, right? What? Still addicted? Then do you have a better solution? Fourth Raikage asked without shame. Okay, this puts Yèyuè Guāng down. I feel that this seems to be the best way to solve the extinction of dead bone pulse. Know about Big Mom. Speaking of business, what do you want to do after a long absence? Is it just 2 little ghosts? Yèyuè Guāng rubbed his temples, and asked Kimimaro's question behind him for the time being. Fourth Raikage took out a small scroll track. The old thing from Third Hokage sent a message saying that he wanted to co-organize a new Chunin examination system with Tongmeng Village. Chunin exam. Upon hearing these 4 words, Yèyuè Guāng's face became straight. Isn't the tentative time of the Konoha destruction project, for myself and Orochimaru also the Chunin exam? Asterisk. Chapter 31. These women won't fight, will they? Flowers break 12,500 plus more. Tutai quickly explained it to everyone present. Sarutobi Hiruzen's specific project for reforming the Chunin exam this time is to take the Chunin exam that was originally conducted in their respective ninja villages. It is changed to several shinobu villages together, twice a year. Take turns every year in a big 9th village. The Chunin exam in the original book is like this. For example, the year the story began, it was held in Konaha. And the time when Naruto didn't participate in the second year of going out to practice, it was in Sand Shinobi. And now, because Konaha has signed an alliance agreement with Sand Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. So compared to the original Chunin test, the examination is only performed alternately between Konaha and Sand Shinobi. Changed to Konaha, Sand Shinobi, Cloud Shinobi, 3 large villages as the organizers, held in rotation. The candidates who took the Chunin exam were not limited to genin in these 3 big villages. There are also small forbearance villages such as Kaoyan Village, Takian Village, and Tangyan Village. Naturally, these small countries are not eligible to be sponsors and are only worthy of contestants. This is quite interesting. Wooden Golem's eyes lit up. You can judge the overall level of the next generation of ninja village by watching genin representatives from other villages. If agreed, this year's Chunin exam will be held in Konaha, next year we will be Cloud Shinobi, and the following year Sand Shinobi will take turns. Tutai said again. The rule adopts a group of 1 to 3 people, and a guide Jonin can be assigned to lead the way. You want Shiro and Kimimaro to go. Yèyuè Guāng saw through the thoughts of Fourth Raikage and others. It's too early to expose the spoils snatched from other villages so early. Yèyuè Guāng squinted his eyes. But, now Cloud Shinobi genin, nothing is better than the 2 of them. Tutai said in embarrassment. No way, who called Cloud Shinobi is not the protagonist village. Geniuses like leeks, and karma has cropped crops after crops. Quote. I have a personal choice. After a brief thought, Yèyuè Guāng showed a weird smile. Make everyone present shudder. Advertisement. There is a bad feeling. Hey, Cloud Canyon Training Field. Nearly 4 years old, Hinata concentrated chakra on the soles of 2 short legs, his face flushed with tension and fatigue. It is 90 perpendicular to the canyon wall, and it has reached a height of more than 50 meters above the ground. Hinata, don't mess with your breath. Focus on chakra. Be careful, don't be afraid, as long as there is a case, my sister will catch you. Samui, Maui and Terumi Mei below all shouted for encouragement. If these 3 women get together, wouldn't they really fight? Hearing the encouragement below, Hinata took a deep breath and tried to head to the top of the canyon. Oh, the goal set for her is to walk to the top of the canyon and start practicing lightning-style chakra. When it is about 70 meters above the ground, Hinata's short legs suddenly staggered, and the small figure immediately fell from the sky. The faces of the 3 women below fused at the same time. Sam wrinkled his green pupils, and hurried out of his legs to catch Hinata. However, the other figure next to her was faster than her. Jumped and caught Hinata who was falling. It is Terumi Mei. Thank you, Sister Miming. Hinata blushed and fluttered. It's okay, that's the end of today's practice, chakra is exhausted. Terumi Mei smiled and wiped the sweat from Hinata's face with his cuff. Hinata, come here, let's go home. Sam Yi said with a cold face. Obviously, I don't want Hinata to get too close to each other. Damn it, I feel that the only advantage I have compared to this woman is only a few centimeters around the moon. Just as Hinata jumped from Terumi Mei's arms and was about to take Sam Yi's hand. Advertisement. Has it ended? Yèyuè Guāng beckoned and walked towards this side. Teacher. Oh Dusan. Hinata leapt for joy and turned around to plunge into the opponent's arms. Yèyuè Guāng raised her index finger and tapped her little head lightly, forgot again. Yes, sorry, teacher. Hinata spit out her little tongue. It's really rare for the 3 of you to be together. Seeing these 3 women standing in a row in front of him, Yèyuè Guāng couldn't help but spit out. He originally went to the high-end hotel where Terumi Mei was staying first to find her. After rushing for a while, I heard the manager say that the other party is here. It's boring to stay in the hotel all the time, and I also need to practice, after all, I want to be a Mizukage. Terumi Mei smiled and raised her jade finger slightly, pulling a strand of hair from her eyebrows behind her ears. I have to say that this action is too exciting. Even in terms of appearance, Sam Yi and Terumi Mei are 50-50. But it takes turns to attract the charm of a man, and people can't wait to throw her onto the top in other aspects. Terumi Mei won. Gone back. When Sam Yi walked to Yèyuè Guāng's side, he calmly stamped on the back of the opponent's foot. Men are really big trotter, unreliable. If it hadn't been for the self-watching in the past 6 months, this D's public grain would have been scattered outside. Samui is also very strange. Since Terumi Mei stayed at Cloud Shinobi 6 months ago, she and Yèyuè Guāng probably have not seen each other in private. But as a woman, she was keenly aware of Terumi Mei's looming favor for this pig's hoof. Could it be that this D hooked up with the other party after less than a month in the country of water? Teddy is not so fast, is it? Chapter 32 Terumi Mei, Genin, evaluation vote broken 1300 plus more. Yèyuè Guāng, who was stepped on a foot for no reason, reluctantly turned Byakugan inwardly and said. I have something to tell Terumi Mei. Sam Yi's face didn't change much, but the aura exuding from his body was even colder. The business is business, can you stop making trouble? Yèyuè Guāng reluctantly touched Sam Yi's squat behind. Samui instantly shivered like some heroines in some books. Azabuyi and Terumi Mei who were looking at them couldn't help but flushed. Only Xiaobai, Hinata, has a curious look. Are everyone so swollen? Ahem, Just tell me something. After all, it has been agreed that I will follow your orders during this period of time in Cloud Shinobi. Terumi Mei said with a dry cough and barely eased the embarrassment. From this year's exam, the Chunin exam system will be reformed. Yèyuè Guāng quickly explained to the three women that the future Chunin exam will be held alternately between Konoha, Cloud Shinobi, and Sand Shinobi. Then he said to Terumi Mei with a weird smile, "Genin, our representative of Cloud Shinobi, is you." As soon as these words came out, the three women were instantly stunned. After a long while, Terumi Mei raised her finger to point at herself inconceivably, and asked with an expression of, "Did you make a mistake?" Me. Yèyuè Guāng nodded with a smile still on his face. "Light, are you kidding me?" Azabui said in disbelief. How could Miss Terumi Mei? She is Jonin. Except for Miss Shinobi, who knows that she is Jonin in other shinobi villages. Yèyuè Guāng directly blocked Ma Bui with a rhetorical question, and said with a smirk. If it is not found, it is not cheating. Wow, it makes sense. Do you have to reward you with a little red flower? Is there any purpose for this? Advertisement. Terumi Mei sighed lightly, even though he thought this kind of task was really boring. But at the moment he is in a state of being under the fence, but he has no right to bargain. On the surface, you are borrowing your power to create a deterrent effect on other countries, but in fact I want to go to Konoha to get something. Yèyuè Guāng pretends to be mysterious. As for what it is, I will tell you when I get it. Are you going with her? Samui is keenly aware of the key points in Yèyuè Guāng's words. The new system of the Chunin examination is that one Jonin leads 1 to 3 genin. Does this mean that Yèyuè Guāng is going to Konoha with Terumi Mei alone? This trip is also for your reasons. Don't be jealous, okay? Yèyuè Guāng lowered his head and pecked at Sam Yichao. Ashamed again, Terumi Mei and Azabui turned their heads to the other side. Who is jealous? Passionate. Sam turned his face to the other side coldly, to avoid Yèyuè Guāng from seeing the shyness in her eyes. A few days later, Konoha village. In the meeting room of the elders of the Naruto administration building. For decades, the four talents who have been happy to destroy Konoha and turned a king into bronze have once again gathered together. Hiruzen, Sunagakure has agreed to the new Chunin exam system you proposed, and we will wait for Cloud Shinobi's answer. Mitokado Homura said, but is it okay? This time you plan to deter the representatives of the nations, who are actually members of the Uchiha family. Udatane Kaharu frowned. The reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen promoted this new system in which genin from various countries gather together to participate in the Chunin exam. It is to achieve the deterrent effect by showing the genius of the village to other countries. The genin representative elected by Konoha this year is 10-year-old Uchiha Itachi. Advertisement. Sarutobi Hiruzen lights the pipe and exhales the flue gas. She is the best candidate, and none of the genin, and even Chunin, of Konoha is better than Itachi. What Sarutobi Hiruzen wants is to use Uchiha Itachi's strength to tell those enemy villages who think Konoha has weakened. Konoha is still the number one in the ninja world, and Uchiha Itachi is the best example. But he is from the Uchiha clan. Will this not expand Uchiha's influence? Udatane Kaharu's words are still full of hatred for Uchiha. He didn't want to give Uchiha a chance to show off. I can guarantee Uchiha Itachi's loyalty. Like Shisui, he is undoubtedly the successor of the Will of Fire. Hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, the other three were not stopping. After all, the Will of Fire is Sarutobi Hiruzen's strongest technique. Anyone who was hit by this ninjutsu will become 205. Father, the letter from Thunder Country is here. At this time, an Anbu appeared in the conference room and presented a letter to Sarutobi Hiruzen. The current Anbu captain, Sarutobi Shinosuke, codenamed Yi. The reason for being Jonin in strength but being able to be the captain is quite intriguing. White Fang, who wanted to be the captain of the year, has the strength of the pinnacle of cage level. Now even an ordinary Jonin can be the captain. It is conceivable that Konoha's overall strength is weak. Sarutobi Hiruzen opened the letter and said to everyone a few seconds later. Cloud Shinobi also agreed, and also sent their shinobi representative information. Who is it? For Cloud Shinobi, who has been deflated by Konoha since the beginning of World War III, F4 of the elders is naturally curious. Sarutobi Hiruzen spread out the letter and showed it in front of everyone. Candidate. Terumi Mei, Genin. Guide Jonin. Yèyuè Guāng Chapter 33 So open. Time flies. The first Chunin exam under the reformed new system was held in Konoha. It is possible to infer the overall strength of the next generation of a village by bringing genin representatives from each village. For Cloud Shinobi and Sand Shinobi, why not do it? He quickly agreed. Itachi, you have the mission to show the strength of my Uchiha clan in front of the representatives of various countries. You must never fail, understand? In the Uchiha Patriarch's residence, the current Patriarch Uchiha Fugaku said to the eldest son Uchiha Itachi with a solemn expression. 10-year-old Uchiha Itachi lost his genin teammate from the same period because of a mission out 2 years ago. In other words, he will take the exam as a team. In Uchiha Fugaku's view, this is a great opportunity to shock the ninja world once again with Uchiha's name. Take the filial son to kneel and sit in front of his father, with a drooping face but nodding his head repeatedly. And Uchiha Fugaku did not discover the impatience and stigma of his son hiding under his bangs. As early as when he was still studying at the ninja school, he had been in close contact with Uchiha Shisui, another inheritor of the will of fire in the Uchiha family. After many years of association, Uchiha Itachi has gradually become disgusted with the narrow, family, concept of people in the clan except himself and Uchiha Shisui. The words, one clan, and one clan, are constantly being repeated on the mouth, so the quantity is so shallow. After Uchiha Fugaku finally finished his instructions, Uchiha Itachi responded to the sentence, "Father, I will withdraw first," and immediately disappeared with the body flicker technique. It didn't take long for it to appear on the cliff of the back mountain of Uchiha Nanga Shrine. A person, who has been waiting for him for a long time. Uchiha Shisui. The administrative building in the center of Konoha village. In the Naruto office, Sarutobi Hiruzen sits on a chair, with a crystal ball in the center of the desk in front of him. The surface of the sphere shows the entrance of Konoha's main gate. Advertisement. One after another, Genin, the representative from the various ninja villages, and the guide Jonin entered the village one after another. And Sarutobi Hiruzen focuses on the two big league villages, Cloud Shinobi and Sand Shinobi. The representative of the Kingdom of Wind, Genin, Yi Kang, is rumored to be a user of Scorched Style. Although it is Genin, it is already well known in various countries. It is rumored that she burned many enemy ninjas into mummies from Scorched Style while fighting Sunagaker and Iwagaker. Jonin is the confidant of Fourth Raikage Luasha, Baki. All villages also have talents coming out in large numbers. Sarutobi Hiruzen exhaled a puff of smoke, feeling extremely upset inside. At this time, two people stepped into Konoha. Not only Sarutobi Hiruzen who spied with a crystal ball, but also the representatives of the other villages in the screen. Their expressions changed abruptly when they saw the arrival of these two people. Known as the strongest lightning-style ninja in the ninja, and in the first 2 years, it has been reported that his strength has surpassed Fourth Raikage as his cousin. It is close to Yèyuè Guāng of Third Raikage, who was known as the strongest Raikage in history. And beside him, there was another beauty who was about his age and had a slender figure. Sarutobi Hiruzen only knows that the female name is Terumi Mei, through the submitted information. It is Cloud Shinobi Genin, and the rest of the information is unknown. Recall that Yèyuè Guāng abducted Hyuga Hinata 5 years ago, and that incident can be said to be nailed to Konoha's shame pole. There was another heavy sigh in the office. Immediately Sarutobi Hiruzen said to himself. A small Chunin exam, he actually came again. No, I have to send someone to watch it. In front of Konoha Shinobi's school is the first examination room. Terumi Mei set off her perfect curve with one hand on her hips, and said with a bitter expression on her face. I didn't expect that I would come to take the Chunin exam. Hey, you are going to travel at public expense, just show off the strength of your future Mizukage a little bit, and there will be a gift for you after the end. Gift. Advertisement. Terumi Mei's beautiful eyes flashed with strangeness, and she pursed her lips and chuckled lightly. You would also have gifts for Samui before. I didn't expect me to have them too. Isn't it because you think of me wrongly? Yes, let's not take the Chunin exam. Let's go to the hotel. Yèyuè Guāng reached out and hugged Terumi Mei's thin, boneless waist. Feel the strangeness from the PSO's muscles, coupled with the heat from Yèyuè Guāng's face at close range. Terumi Mei, the big mouth king, was instantly defeated. Fenquan slammed the opponent's shoulder and sipped, FKU, before rushing into the ninja school. Looking at the distant shadow, Yèyuè Guāng couldn't hold back a nasty smile. Then he turned his gaze to this ninja school marked with a big fire, and couldn't help but sigh. I don't know how many traversers have been cultivated here. In the shade of a big tree behind, although he is not the captain, he is truly Uchiha Shisui of Anbu's strongest man. Through the shade of the trees, quietly monitoring Yèyuè Guāng at the school gate. After speaking with Uchiha Itachi, he immediately received an order from Naruto-sama. Monitor Yèyuè Guāng. Is that the strongest person in Cloud Shinobi? Uchiha Shisui said to himself. It was in a trance for such a moment. Uchiha Shisui looked over again, but found that the figure had disappeared without a trace. What's going on? People. Uchiha Shisui turned his head in disbelief and searched for Yèyuè Guāng's figure. Hello. Suddenly, a sound like a nightmare rang in his ears. Chapter 34. Have you ever heard of the name of King Zhongshan Jing? Yèyuè Guāng and Terumi Mei just entered Konoha village not long ago. Hyuga Hiashi heard about it. Regardless of anything in his hands, he hurried to the ninja school. Should we say, you know how to cherish only when you lose it. It is hard to see how much he cherishes Hinata in the original book. Now it has changed 180 degrees. Hyuga Hiashi's wife, Mrs. Hiashi, was rushed to the ninja school with Hyuga Hiashi's hands. It can be seen from her obvious belly. After Hyuga Hiashi's unremitting efforts, she finally has a baby again. Oh, no, I didn't get pregnant until 5 years. Brother, your efficiency is too bad. Yèyuè Guāng said that if you change to be yourself, you will definitely know what Zhongshan Jingguang is. You're going to give birth, don't. Hyuga Hiashi looked anxiously trying to dissuade. However, Mrs. Hiashi, who has a big belly, shook her head resolutely, even though her face was painful. No, it's been almost 5 years since Hinata left me. I must know how that kid is now. In desperation, Hyuga Hiashi could only support his wife and try his best to use the fastest footsteps to go to the ninja school as the first examination room. When the Hiashi couple arrived, Yèyuè Guāng was no longer seen at the school gate. Mrs. Hiashi nearly collapsed and nearly fell. Fortunately, Hyuga Hiashi comforted in time. Don't worry, Chunin will not leave Konoha during the exam. He must be in a hotel or the like. Let's go there and look for it. Hearing what her husband said, Mrs. Hiashi barely regained some energy and prepared to go to Hokage to arrange arrangements for the incoming candidates and guide Jonin's hotel. Call out. But at this moment, an afterimage suddenly flew out, passing by the Hiashi couple. Advertisement. He hit the gate of the ninja school behind them hard. Bang. In an instant, the loud sound attracted the attention of the surrounding villagers and the Jonin from various villages, such as Baki. At the gate of the school that had been smashed into ruins, a figure collapsed there, with a stream of blood hanging over its head. When the gunpowder smoke gradually dissipated, everyone around him could see his face clearly. Whether it is the Konoha shinobi such as Hyuga Hiashi, or the ninja from the outer village such as Baki, they can't help but exclaim. Uchiha Shisui. Shisui. Uchiha's strongest phantom ninja in rumor. How could? He was injured. I was beaten to fly. Who has this strength? Just when everyone was shocked. In the shade of the big tree opposite the school gate, Yèyuè Guāng jumped from it, smilingly clues Uchiha Shisui. To monitor me, you have to know how to hide your breath better. The eyes of the Hiashi couple suddenly shrank. They will never forget the man who took away his 3-day-old daughter. Yèyuè Guāng. Baki waited for Jonin from another village to call out the name secretly. If it was him, it would be understandable that Uchiha Shisui could be knocked off. After all, the rumors have completely surpassed Fourth Raikage, the strongest existence of Cloud Shinobi Village. When they heard the word monitoring in Yèyuè Guāng's mouth, their expressions changed slightly. It's not surprising that the outer village ninja enters Konoha and will send a watcher. But I didn't expect Yèyuè Guāng to be so merciless. Fight directly. It is rumored that the Kingdom of Thunder is a group of martial arts with well-developed limbs and simple minds. It really is true. Baki thought to himself contemptuously. But he didn't plan to wade through this muddy water. Advertisement. After all, unlike the original book, he came to Konoha this time only to take Yikang to take the Chunin exam, to show the power of Sunagakur blood succession ninja to other countries. It would have been better if I could get some information about Konoha. But now that Konoha has sent a watcher, then this idea is probably gone. Okay, so fast, Uchiha Shisui, with blood still running over his head, secretly said in his heart. Recalling the scene of being beaten up just now, I can be called Shimmering Shisui, so I don't have to say much about the speed. But this man is scarier than himself. I am afraid that only the obsolete fourth Hokage can compete with one of them. Hey, Yèyuè Guāng cast his eyes on Uchiha Shisui for about 5 seconds, then suddenly let out a disdainful sneer, turned his head and left. No, don't you kill me. Shocked, Uchiha Shisui subconsciously said this sentence. Cloud Shinobi's ninja acting style is fierce, and he has also heard about it. Even if this is Konoha, he is mentally prepared to be killed by the opponent or break a few bones. However, he just let go of himself. You're going to die soon, are you still a day or two away? Yèyuè Guāng is funny Kaido. About to die. The onlookers around again showed shock. Is this Uchiha Shisui suffering from an incurable disease or something? Why does Yèyuè Guāng say he is dying? Master Everbright, if you have time, can you come to the humble house? Seeing that Yèyuè Guāng was about to leave, Hyuga Hiashi finally plucked up the courage to take the initiative to invite him. Chapter 35 Konoha Genius Can't Die. Hyuga Clan Land, the Patriarch's residence. Shu. Yèyuè Guāng, who was sitting opposite the Hiashi couple, took a sip of tea pretending to be elegant, and said 2 seconds later. It's delicious. Forgive him for the lack of ink in his stomach, and only squeeze out this evaluation word. Everbright, Hinata, is she, okay? After clenching his teeth, Hyuga Hiashi couldn't help but ask the most concerned questions. Although he should first greet the other party, he was almost talking. But in the face of this villain who abducted his 3-day-old abuser away. He just wanted to find a topic, but he couldn't hold it back. Don't worry. She is very good, and she has a good time in Cloud Shinobi Village. Unlike the third Hokage adults, I cherish talents very much. Yèyuè Guāng said cheerfully, although this answer made Hiashi and his wife temporarily relieved. But it was not enough to make them completely relieved. They neither saw the current situation of their daughter with their own eyes, nor could they visit Cloud Shinobi Village. Just relying on Yèyuè Guāng's oral narrative, it is really not convincing. Can you? Just when Hyuga Hiashi wanted to ask Yèyuè Guāng to allow them to enter Cloud Shinobi Village to see her daughter. Yèyuè Guāng spoke even faster. Patriarch Hiashi, you should thank me for being such a talented genius and a genius from a well-known family. Being born in Konoha is the real tragedy. This why did Everbright make such a statement? Hyuga Hiashi, who said that the request was interrupted, couldn't help but retort after hearing this. You are also a person who has lived through an era. Remember how many geniuses Konoha has been born since Sarutobi Hiruzen became the top 3 Naruto. While asking this question, Yèyuè Guāng picked up his teacup and slurped again. Forgive him for not being able to eat the fine chaff, because he thinks this precious tea is not as good as the milk tea from the previous life. As soon as these words came out, the faces of Hitaki Tsukumo, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Namikaze Minato and many others flashed across Hyuga Hiashi's mind. Advertisement. These people die, walk away, and run away. No one remained in Konoha anyway. Just when he thought of Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi in modern times. Yèyuè Guāng smiled and asked, Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi, how long do you think they will be able to enjoy the lessons of so many predecessors? Will they end up being killed or defecting? Konoha's genius is not going to die. Yèyuè Guāng throws out a series of questions, and adds the last sentence to the end. Hyuga Hiashi was shocked and sweated. If you think about it so carefully, that's true. Calculate carefully, it really is like this. Needless to say Hitaki Tsukumo and Namikaze Minato. Especially Namikaze Minato, for the baby Uzumaki Naruto born the Night of Nine Tails. Hyuga Hiashi is also somewhat speculative about his life experience. But he didn't dare to care too much. The father was the hero who saved the village, but the son ended up that way. Although Sannin is still alive, Jiraiya has a relatively free and easy personality except for not returning to the village once in a few years. The other two are worse than one. Orochimaru was charged with S-class treason. And Tsunade lost the entire Senju family. So, if Hinata grows up in Konoha, her ending will be the same as these people. I actually saved her. Yèyuè Guāng said with awe-inspiring righteousness. That's it, thank Everbright. Halfway through, Hyuga Hiashi reacted suddenly. Grateful. Thanks for the fart. Advertisement. In any case, it is an indisputable fact that you abducted my daughter. No matter how terrible the deaths of Hitaki Tsukumo and Namikaze Minato, you can't change the fact that you robbed Hinata. Damn it, almost got in by this B********** D routine. If you are not afraid of hooligans playing rogues, you are afraid that hooligans are educated. Sure enough. Ahem. Hyuga Hiashi coughed twice and quickly brought the topic back to the right track. Dear Everbright, our couple miss Hinata very much. It has been almost 5 years now. Could you please? Shall you meet Hinata? Before Hyuga Hiashi finished speaking, Yèyuè Guāng took the initiative to say the second half of the other party's words. Yes. Hyuga Hiashi held back the heart that was about to jump out of the throat, and his hand under the table squeezed the corner of his clothes tightly. The same is true for his wife, Mrs. Hiashi. 2 conditions. Yèyuè Guāng didn't talk nonsense either, he raised his index finger and went straight into the word. First, I can let you see each other, but only to see what can't be done, don't I need to say more? Hearing this, the couple looked at each other, a few seconds later they lowered their heads tacitly. Yes, we understand. They also knew in their hearts that this was the biggest concession. Second, Yèyuè Guāng immediately raised his second finger, where is the Book of Seal? The Hyuga Hiashi's expressions changed drastically, as if they had seen the end of the world. Patriarch Hiashi, you also itch the teeth of Konoha, don't you? Yèyuè Guāng smiled with a dark belly. This is a good opportunity, don't you want to go back with revenge?